welcome in, Outlaws. That's right, it's KGB from the C Sports Network, the Clan HPS channel, bringing you another live Atlanta Braves franchise stream. That's right, we're going to finish up the Milwaukee Brewer 3-game series. Unfortunately, the Milwaukee Brewers have taken the series 2-0 so far. So we have got to, we've only been saying it the last how many games. Our guys have really got to turn it around. And let's hope that today is the day that they're going to get that done. As always, we are 20 minutes early. Still setting up a few things. Welcome in, David. Appreciate you stopping in already. As always, one of my most loyal moderators and subscribers. I certainly appreciate your support. All right, so again, we are on the VPN. This should be the last game. Should be the last game. At least the Colorado Rockies, they're not blacked out for me. So again, today we'll be going with the old school radio broadcast. Give me a few minutes here while I get things situated. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, Thomas's dad went to the game yesterday. He sent me a picture of the bobblehead he got yesterday. That his dad brought him home. He sent it to me on Discord. Pretty cool, man. You lucky dog, you. Alrighty. Hey, Lonnie, how you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you stopping in. Now, I realize we're about 16 minutes out from first pitch, but we're going to go ahead and see if they got any
annually than anyone else in Georgia, which means
they do, but it's on commercials, so. All right, so some news around the league, guys and gals here. Let me go ahead and pause. I got the sound paused. Let me bring up the Twitter news. So, the big news coming at us from the Braves today. Second here, let me get it up. All right, so today, 2 hours ago, the Braves selected right-handed pitcher Parker Dunshee to the Major League roster and recalled must be outfielder Eli White to Atlanta. The club optioned left-handed pitcher Dylan Dodd to Triple-A Gwinnett following last night's game and designated outfielder Eddie Rosario for assignment. So, Eddie Rosario is gone from the team once again. They have sent Dylan Dodd down to Triple-A Gwinnett. They have recalled Eli White to the offensive field. And they have selected Parker Dunshee and called him up. Right-handed pitcher. So I'm not sure when when we'll see him. I don't know if he's a reliever. I don't know much about the guy. I just know my good buddy Maverick from Maverick Sports called me up shortly before the stream was to begin and told me that there had been some movement from the Braves. It's unfortunate to see Eddie Rosario go after only a few short weeks. Yeah, I mean, for as well as everybody else is hitting, I thought he was doing just fine. But I guess he wasn't doing good enough, evidently. So, moving on from that, today's lineup, they shook her up again. We got Solar with the day off. So, Jared Kelnick is jumping back in to lead off and playing center field.
Between the Braves and the Brewers, Charlie Morton is on the mound for the Braves, and he faces right-hander Frankie Montas. It's great to have you with us, alongside Darren O'Day and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. And Darren, it's been a really rough stretch here lately for the Braves. Last night, very frustrating. In fact, the last several nights, very frustrating. 16 more hits allowed last night. So you've lost the series, but you got to find a way to finish off with a win and then hopefully carry a little bit of momentum into this West Coast road trip.
Yeah, Ben, this is, as close as you get to a must-win game in August. Like you said, to carry that momentum to that long 10-game road trip out to the West Coast, really flirting with being out of
because
it's
down. It's down to
only a half-game lead on the Mets.
It's down. We can't mess
as
around no more. Our guys have got to get with it.
Hey, hopefully so. And you're seeing
doubt.
Frankie Montas, whom you just saw. He was with the Reds. He's made 20 starts this season. 19 of those were with Cincinnati. Then he was traded at the deadline to Milwaukee, and his last start as a Red was right here. So maybe that benefits the Braves' offense.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just a couple weeks ago. He was here with the Reds, and the Braves singled him to death. He gave up 10 hits. 9 singles. So we would love to see that. We've been seeing a lot of that the last 2 nights, but that's been coming from the Brewers bats instead of the Braves.
Right.
So hopefully
I'll be able to see you guys chat here
and create some problems
momentarily.
for him.
Doesn't it feel like whatever you're aiming for, you get, and then the other side is what lets you down? In other words, we've gone stretches where the Braves could not hit, could not score runs. The pitching was there, and we said the last few nights, okay, you got to find a way to score some runs. Well, they did that. Yet they gave up 16 base hits and couldn't stop anybody. So if it's not one thing, it's the other. I'm sure that's extremely frustrating for the guys down there.
Yeah, and that's.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we didn't have an ump like that ump last night, that was so bad.
Really, just by chance.
Hey, Lane, how you doing?
Chris Sale went out and he battled. He worked through some traffic. He gave up more hits.
David, Lonnie, and
but he
Lane
kept striking guys out. And then the bullpen came in uncharacteristically. A lot of walks, a lot of base runners. Gave up 4 stolen bases yesterday. Brewers left 16 men on base yesterday, so that's just too much traffic because we know they
sent
can
him back
run,
down.
right? And they've stolen 6 bases.
Well, I think
on us
Dylan,
in the last 2 games.
Dodd
So
kind of struggled last night, and I think that was probably
off base, make his job easier,
probably
make it
the
easier on his
deciding
catches
factor.
as well.
Well, and maybe it'll benefit the Braves that the Brewers have not seen Charlie Morton since 2022. We'll see if that plays out today or not. When we come back, I'll introduce you to the starting lineups for both teams, and right after that, we'll have the first pitch. It's the Braves and the Brewers, and it's all right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
A coach who knows the game.
All right. So we are 10 minutes out from first pitch. 10 minutes and counting, ladies and gentlemen. That screwed every one of the Atlanta pitchers that came in there. He made terrible calls, and it's pretty sad when even the announcers notice how one-sided that calls were getting. That all the calls were going to the Brewers. I mean, if that's not reason enough to look into that guy and find out what the deal was, because I'll tell you, it certainly seemed like it was personal. It didn't take that ump long. I mean, I've been watching the Braves now since October of 22. I've not seen anybody get thrown out of the game. I've not seen Schnitt say anything to the umps. in all honesty. I've never seen. And last night he started chirping in the dugout. It didn't take that ump long to throw him out. Then, Snick comes out, says what he says, and when the other umpire come and got between them, the home plate ump just sticks his nose up, turns around, walks away. And then continued to call the exact same shit calls that he was calling the whole game against the Braves, and continued to give the Brewers calls that shouldn't have been called. Pretty one-sided, in my opinion. But, hey, game's over. We can't change that. So I'm going to move on from that. I sat here last night just mulling that over like how could you be so blatant? And I certainly hope the league will look into it. The league's got to look into that. If he's done it to this team, how many teams out there has he done it to? No place in this league for that kind of ump. Hey, Mr. Woodrow, what's up?
Trying to avoid being swept at home for the first time this year. Want to remind you that Prize Picks is the official daily fantasy sports partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, we got to definitely
Picks
avoid
today
that.
And use code BRAVES for a first deposit match up to $100. Time now for the starting lineups. We'll start off with the visitors from Milwaukee. The Brewers wrap up their road trip today. They head home. They have a record of 64-49. They're in first place in the Central, and they have a 6-game lead over second place St. Louis. Leading it off for the Brewers today, second baseman Bryce Terang. Batting second, left fielder Jackson Churio, and hitting third, center fielder Garrett Mitchell. Batting cleanup, former Brave, having a big series, William Contreras. He's the DH today. Following Contreras, batting fifth, shortstop Willie Adames. Hitting sixth, right fielder Sal Frelick. Batting seventh for Milwaukee, first baseman Jake Bowers. Batting eighth, third baseman Joey Ortiz. He's 5 for 8 in this series. Batting ninth, the catcher Eric Haas. And on the mound, it'll be Frankie Montas, whom the Braves just saw when he was a member of the Reds, recently traded over from Cincinnati. This is his second start as a Brewer. He's 5-8 with a 5.03 ERA. So again for Milwaukee, it's Terang, Churio, Mitchell.
I hope so.
Adames,
I don't know how that
Ortiz,
goes. I don't know if they
Haas,
rotate
and
them
Montas on the mound.
after every game
for the
or
Braves,
what. I hope
so.
so.
4 straight. The Braves are the
Please
record
don't
of
give us that
60
same
and
ump.
53 in second place in the East. 7.5 games back of the Phillies, who won last night.
You go back
and the Braves will lead it
I'll
off
tell you
with their
what.
center fielder Jared Kelenic. Batting
It
second,
was
third
bothering
baseman,
me so
third
much
baseman Austin Riley, and hitting
that
third.
I'm actually working on a video
beautiful day here at the weekend getaway.
that will show.
Oh no! Looks
I
like
went
a
in
loose
getting
stare on the porch.
clips of all the pitches,
And he is out.
all the called
Add another one
balls,
to the IL.
all the called strikes.
The season to start. At Morgan & Morgan, we know injuries
and
can
you'll
come out of
clearly
left
see
field. As America's largest injury law firm,
a pattern
we've
that this
covered
guy
over $20 billion
was
for our clients. If you've been
giving it to
injured
the
in an
Brewers.
accident,
ERA, and he's coming off a pretty good performance against the
Or
Marlins
whatever
in his
that
last
means.
turn. So once again for the Braves, it's Kelenic, Riley, Ozuna, Olson, Arcia, Darno, Laureano, Duvall, Merrifield, and Morton on the mound. When Darren and I come back, we'll have the first pitch, Braves and the Brewers, coming up on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
There you go.
Okay, now.
Like to say thank you for those that subbed last night. Picked up 3 during the live stream and one thereafter. So we are actually 9 subs away from that 1,100 goal today. Let's hope and pray. Hope and pray we can hit that goal. Be kind of nice to end this bad homestand by the Braves with at least reaching our goal. Got to have something to look forward to, right? Because if our Braves don't turn things around, boy, we're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's a really high chance that we don't make the playoffs. There's no way I would have ever thought that in the beginning of this season that we would miss the playoffs. entirely. But we're in trouble with that. I mean, I realize, guys and gals, that we suffered a lot of injuries, key player injuries. I mean, Murphy going out in the beginning of the season, come back, has not batted like the Murphy of old. I think it's fair to say that he's done okay with the catching duties, but his batting has not been there. Of course, we all know Acuna come in with a hurt knee and he wasn't doing anything even when he did tear the opposite knee that he had surgery on in 21. We lost Riley for an extended period of time. Come back, wasn't batting, couldn't do nothing, but O'Reilly has turned that around. I think he's sitting at like 16 home runs now. His batting has really took off. Ever since, unfortunately, when his mentor and pitching coach from back when came out to watch him play and gave him some tips, and unfortunately, the man was killed in an automobile accident. Ever since then, right, it's like a switch is turned on for Riley. He's been a whole nother player. The batting has been there. The homers are coming. He's turned it around. Matt Olson's still struggling. I mean, we just have so many things. We got Michael Harris, who's still out on the IL. Well, he did do his rehab stint last night's game, and I didn't see any news about him. So I'm kind of hoping they would say something on the broadcast about him. But even if he comes back, is it going to be too late?
And the Braves about to take the field,
right.
and for Charlie, it'll be his 21st start of
Here
the
they
year.
come, taking
Here's
the field.
letter around Charlie Morton. Matt Olson will be at first base. Whit Merrifield is the second baseman. Orlando Arcia, the shortstop. Austin Riley is at third base. In the Braves outfield, left to right, Adam Duvall, Jared Kelenic, and Ramon Laureano. Behind the plate, it is Travis d'Arnaud. And on the mound, it is Charlie Morton. He's going to take a peek at the Brewers for the first time since 2022. He's seen them a lot in his career. Of course, so many years of his career he spent in Pittsburgh. So he was in that division with the Brewers. This will be his 18th career start versus Milwaukee. 5-8 against them with a 3.91 ERA. And it'd be great if he could rack up 11 strikeouts today. He's 11 strikeouts from 2000 for his career. So, Darren, anytime it comes to Charlie Morton being on the mound, you're looking at that
11 strikeouts from 2000 career strikeouts for Charlie Morton.
While we expect a good curveball, he was talking about how he was able to
Let's
use
go,
his
Charlie.
versus the
Let's
Marlins.
get them
So there's
11
some good
today,
places.
baby.
And if he's got both of those pitches, he can get lots of whiffs in this ball game versus this Brewers bunch.
Yeah, Charlie's game obviously hinges on the effectiveness of that curveball. But like you mentioned, last start against the Marlins, he was able to put that four-seamer and sinker in places where it really helped him out, get those batters off that curveball so he could come back late in the count for a whiff with that plus curveball.
Of course you got to mess up.
Today.
You can't
He's
just
get
go
off to
in
a
like
hot start here. I sound like a broken
time,
record.
yeah.
The first inning is
Nope,
Charlie's
can't
toughest
do
inning,
that.
like Chris Sale, like Freddie Peralta we talked about yesterday. So getting off to a start here and limiting those base runners, because these Brewers have had a
you
lot
gotta
the
be
past
kidding
2
me.
nights. And we know when they get on base, they like to run.
Great,
So we gotta limit
great
those base runners here.
interactive
We'll get off to a
service,
quick
but
start for Charlie.
Yeah,
Wyatt
they turned
does
singles
this.
into doubles with their ability to steal bases and score a bunch of runs. In fact, in this series, they've scored 18 runs and had 32 base hits. So if you're looking to limit one thing today, I think that's the category you want to see fewer of.
Yeah, the other thing, very atypical from this Braves pitching staff, a lot of walks yesterday. So especially the bullpen had 4 walks. So we're going to try to limit that today, limit the free passes, keep these speedy runners off base.
He'll be facing Terang, Churio, and Mitchell here in the top of the first inning. This is a Brewers team that has wasted no time scoring early in ball games. They picked up 6 runs in the first 3 innings 2 days ago. They had 1 run in the 3rd inning yesterday, so slowed them down a little bit in the first couple of innings. And hopefully Charlie Morton can have a good, clean start today. He's waiting on the green light from home plate umpire Ryan Wills, and he gets it. Climbing in now, Bryce Terang, 2 for 6 in the series. Left-handed hitting second baseman. 6 homers on the season for him. And he's getting comfortable down there in the left-hand batter's box. Charlie Morton ready for his first pitch of the game. And now for the ball game.
All right. As always, you got to pause it to get it synced up.
The first pitcher called strike.
All right, that should do it.
12:22
We are live.
Central,
Here we go.
Central.
Game
the
3.
The first pitch is brought to you by Schumann Farms. Look for Real Sweet Brand by Dahlia Onions from Schumann Farms. Now in a store near you. There's a called strike. So coming in there with a curveball. It's 0-2 on Terang. For the season, Charlie has made 20 starts. He's 6-6 with a 3.94 ERA. And that last outing, a win versus the Marlins on August 1st. Went 6 innings, gave up 1 run, which wasn't even earned. 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. That was his first win in over a month. 0-2 pitch to Terang, low and inside. Just about hit him in the foot with a curveball. At a 1-2 count. Yeah, that last outing for Charlie, a win on August 1st. Prior to that, his last win was June 28th, so he was due. And the team has gone 9-11 in his starts this season. 1-2 from Charlie. That'll be beat into the ground foul on the first baseline. Bounces on down the line. Still 1-2 on Bryce Terang. We did not see Terang in yesterday's ball game, especially with the left-hander Chris Sale on the mound. They weren't crazy about getting his left-handed stick in the order. 1-2 pitch, and Terang sends one foul. That lands on the second deck down the left field line. Go back to game 1. Terang was a tough out. Went to the plate 6 times, and he put the ball in play all 6 times. Ended up with a couple of base hits, an RBI, a run scored, and a stolen base. So he can do it all. There's the 1-2 pitch on the way from Charlie. And a ground ball weakly out towards first base. Scooped up by Olsen. Underhand toss, and Charlie the veteran able to get there just ahead of Terang.
Yeah, nice play by the old GOAT getting over there to cover first. Bryce Terang runs well. He's got 33 stolen bases. One of the fastest guys in the league. So that'll test an old guy's legs at 12:25 in the morning, you know.
Well, if he wasn't awake already, he's awake now.
That's right.
Covering first against the first batter of the ball game. Here's Jackson Churio. He's had a good series. 5 for 11 in this series. Pitch on the way to Churio, in for a called strike. This guy has really been on a tear here lately, regardless of opponent.
Yeah, one of the best young players in the league, and he's really coming into his own here lately. Since the All-Star break in 15 games, has 11 multi-hit games in that span. So he's swinging it really well right now.
Just 20 years old. There's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Jackson Churio, and now time called. We were talking about this when we were in Milwaukee. Churio, not the only baseball star in his family. His younger brother is one of the top prospects in the Guardians organization.
All right, Jackson Churio with a 272 average with 12 home runs, 46 RBIs, and a 737
away from Morton. Fastball missed low and inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, for me, this is the guy that gets the Brewers offense going.
Well, I'm making a long form video, Lane, so I can get them all in there.
Keep him off the bases. Once he gets on the bases,
so far, I've ran across
2-1, a wave
like
and a miss. Good curveball low and away.
2 stolen
20
bases
pitches that are obviously not what the guy was calling.
Last week. Struggled out of the gate this year, but
and I'm adding in the ones that he called for the
331. So he's figuring out
Braves
how to
as
be
well.
Successful at this level.
I still haven't made it through it.
Just a little bit high.
That's going to be high and outside for ball 3, so 3-2 count. We got 1 out, top of the first.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Jackson Churio. Offering on the way, a reach and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Charlie Morton.
That's strike 3. That's a K on the day. Charlie Morton now needs 10 Ks to reach 2,000 for his career.
Hey, what's amazing, you think about Churio versus Morton, you get a 40-year-old versus a 20-year-old. When Churio was born, Morton was just drafted. That brings Garrett Mitchell up to the plate. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Braves pitchers only had one of those last night. Pitch misses out to Garrett Mitchell.
That was way up and out.
Pitchers have turned in just
well, that was going to the sky. Where you go with that, Charlie?
This entire series. Been traffic all over the base paths.
All right, so we got Mitchell with a 278 average, 1 home run, 6 RBIs.
He'll loop one out towards short and a base hit over Arcia.
Base hit right up the middle.
Field and another base runner for Milwaukee.
That's a 2-out single.
And it's just a pesky bunch.
Yeah, it really is. They've been grinding these at-bats out. Admittedly, the Braves pitchers haven't been throwing their best, but 16 hits last night, 8 walks. That's just a lot of traffic. It's a lot to deal with out there on the mound. And having to work through all that traffic just makes your job even harder.
That extends the inning for William Contreras, and he swings at the first pitch, and he'll hit one high and foul into the seats down the right field line. You want to talk about really wearing you down on the mound. Milwaukee last night logged 22 at-bats.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you stopping in.
Position.
Hey, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit that thumbs up for
us.
Stick around, check us out. If you like what you see, like what you hear, be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Just a merry-go-round around the bases last night with runners.
Absolutely love to have some new outlaws
first base and back into the dive is Garrett Mitchell. The 22 such at-bats were the most in a game against Atlanta since 2022 when the Nationals went 7 for 23 with runners in scoring position. That was an 11-2 win that day for Washington. Here comes the 0-1 pitch on the way to William Contreras, who is 4 for 10 in the series.
Watch for the steal.
He'll take a ball low and in. The Brewers also had 21 at-bats with runners in scoring position on Tuesday.
It definitely looks like a different up there, Lane.
Over 20 such at-bats in back-to-back
Hey, George, how you doing? How was the game last night?
1985, when Cincinnati had 21 and 22.
I mean, I know what happened in the game. I'm just saying it's a little different experience.
So I say all that to say this: a lot of base runners for the
Brewers. I'm sure it is.
And this Braves pitching staff, as we all know, has been the strongest part of this team this season, really carrying the team to the record they're at. So really surprising this young Brewers team's able to do that against the quality of this Braves pitching staff.
Runner goes, 2-1 pitch, and there's a high fly ball to deep left field. Adam Duvall going to go back to the warning track and to the wall.
That's gone.
Into the seats for a deep home run. So a 2-out single by Mitchell kept the door open, and William Contreras.
Well, Charlie Morton, 3 guys in, gave up a 2-run blast.
Contreras' 13th home run of the season in a 2-1 count.
RBI 64 and 65 for the former Brave. He steps on home plate and salutes to the sky, then gets a high five from his teammate Garrett Mitchell.
Now, did you have a choice between the vinyl record or the bobblehead? Because Thomas's dad got the bobblehead.
2-0 Brewers. Here's Willie Adames. Adames with a couple of home runs in game 1 of this series takes a ball low and outside. The home run by Contreras traveled 438 feet and came off the barrel of his bat at 106 miles an hour. That was a shot. There's a called strike. Curveball makes it 1-1 on Adames. This will be Charlie's 20th pitch of the inning. Wind up at the 1-1 pitch. A little bit low and outside.
You mentioned in Charlie's last start against the Marlins, he was able to get some big outs with his fastballs. 4-seamer at the top of the zone, and here so far in the first inning, looks like he's trying to do the same thing.
This 2-1 pitch, and Adames strokes one towards deep left center field. That's going to have Duvall spreading back to the wall, and that's off the wall on the fly.
That's off the wall.
Heads to second base, and that'll be a double.
That's going to be a stand-up double.
Just missed a home run by about a foot, maybe a foot and a half. Hit right at the bottom of the yellow stripe atop the wall in left center field.
I'll tell you, the Brew Crew
just to finish that
picking up right where they left off last night.
Was on a high fastball just above the zone. So it looks like the Brewers went to school, did their homework, and saw, hey, how did he make an adjustment against the Marlins? They weren't ready for. And so the Brewers are ready for it. Charlie's fastball shape doesn't necessarily.
This is exactly why I was saying at the trade deadline.
At this point
why
in his career,
did they not go out and get us
4
some
years
pitchers?
ago? Absolutely.
Our pitchers have struggled all season long.
In 2019, he was getting almost 30% whiffs on that 4-seamer, and this year he's down to 18%. So he's had to figure out other ways to get these hitters out, and that curveball is usually the answer.
0-1 on Frelick. And Frelick bounces one to the left side through the yawning hole on the left side. Adames hits the bag at third.
Here he comes. He's coming home.
And it's now 3-0 Brewers on the base.
Oh, jeez. 3-0. All right. Pull Charlie out.
You know, it's an interesting angle on that because
hole.
you think about that curveball, and it's his best pitch, but it's at his best when he's able to set it up with the fastball.
Yeah.
And if there's a lot of contact versus the heater, that really brings down the significance of the curveball, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to set it up. These hitters, no matter how good your singular pitch is, if you don't have anything else to keep them off balance, they will eventually figure it out. And we mentioned Charlie's fastball, good in his last start. This one so far, there's been some hard contact.
Oh, boy.
Last one was a nice
yeah,
piece
it
of
looks
hitting by
like
Frelick.
it's
You know,
going to
just
be
hitting
a
the curveball
long
the other
day.
way. But that's the type of hitter Frelick is. Not taking a big swing. He's just playing pepper with the baseball, and he found a hole there.
Batter of the inning was Bryce Terang. He grounded out first
right
base,
back.
and Jackson Churio struck out. And it looked like Mort might be settling into a potential 1-2-3 inning, with it a single by Mitchell, a homer by Contreras, a double by Adames, and a single by Frelick. And it's 3-0 in favor of the Brewers. Pick off over to first base and back into the dive, Frelick. Very hard hit balls this inning. Adames' double off the bat at 105. Contreras' homer off the bat at 106. And Mitchell's single off the bat at 106. Called strike on Bowers. Got his curveball through the back door. I don't know, 1 count on him. Charlie's numbers at home have been better than they've been on the road, but wouldn't know that by looking at the top of the first inning in this ball game, unfortunately. There's a ball outside. Home ERA of 3 coming into the action today. Road ERA of 5.14.
Oh, tacos and salad. Got me there, Lane.
25 pitches.
Especially with salad. Oh, I love a good salad.
1-1 bunted foul. That spins across the right-hand batter's box, and a 1-2 count on Bowers.
And if you zoom in even more on
Monster.
Charlie's home starts, in his last 6, he's had a 1.01 ERA, so he's been really good here lately. I will say there's an additional challenge here today. Pretty warm, 92 going up to 93 here, and early game, 12:20 is a little bit odd for a major league team.
1-2 to Bowers, and he swings and misses over the top of a curveball. So a couple of strikeouts in the inning. But
There he got him swinging.
Done as 3
What
runs
is that?
scored on 4 hits, including a homer, no errors, and a man left.
I think that's 3 Ks on the day for him.
3, and the Braves coming up.
And it's a beautiful
Did somebody
day here
verify
at the
that?
weekend
Was that
getaway.
his 2nd or 3rd K? Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I must have got mixed up in my days, George. I thought it was last night that he was sitting with me in Discord. Hey, Nathaniel, how you doing? Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to slap that thumbs up for us. We would certainly appreciate that. How many of you guys use Spotify? Be sure to throw your answer in the chat so I can see. Anybody out there use Spotify?
He has a pretty comfortable cushion as he stands out there on the mound to face the Braves. He'll be facing Koenig, Riley, and Ozuna here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the leather around him. Jake Bowers is at first base. Bryce Terang
just
is second.
David, huh?
Willie Adames, the shortstop, and Joey Ortiz is at third base. introduce you to the Milwaukee outfield after this first pitch from Frankie Montas.
Well, I got I use Spotify, but to me,
takes ball outside.
Having a subscription to it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't need
Mitchell,
it.
right fielder is Sal Frelick.
I had somebody give me a $30 gift card
Frankie
for
Montas
Spotify.
on the mound. 3-0 Brewers. There's the 1-0 pitch on the way.
So I thought
Jared
about
Kelenic.
maybe giving it away to the channel.
And Jared receives a called strike. Lots of fastballs and splitters, among other things, from this guy, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when he came up a few years back, he was one of the hardest throwers in the league.
All right, so 1-1 count to Jared Kelenic.
Still features that four-seamer quite a bit, right around 95.
Here's a 1-1 to Kelenic. He swings and misses, 1-2.
And like many of these
basically, it's a
league,
3-month premium.
98, 99. Splitter,
3-month premium
a sinker,
subscription
cutter, and some sliders as well. Struggles a little bit
Yeah,
against left-handed hitters.
I don't.
Kelenic can take advantage of that.
I use
Kelenic
Spotify, but I
last
just
night.
turn
1-2
music
pitches
on and
low.
listen to it. I don't gotta have no.
Montas, 6'2",
I don't gotta do no playlist to be able to
pounds.
pick,
He's a big
pick
righty.
a song.
He's out of St.
That
Agua,
kind of stuff
Dominican
don't matter
Republic,
to me.
31 years old, and making his 21st start of the season and his second as a Brewer. 5-8 his record this year, and an ERA just a tick over 5. There's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Kelenic. They'll spoil that foul. Still a 2-2 count. As we mentioned, for Montas, his first 19 starts of the year were as a member of the Cincinnati Reds, then traded to the Brewers. And his one start as a Brewer came on August the 2nd at Washington. He won that game, and it's the only game
All right,
they won
Kelenic
that
had a
series.
2-2.
He went 5 innings, 3 runs, 9 hits, didn't walk a soul, and struck out 5.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch.
2-2 pitch, low and outside, 3-2.
Low and outside, ball 3.
And also, as we discussed earlier, his final start as a Red was right here on this mound against the Braves on the 24th of July. He got a no decision in a ball game the Reds won. Couldn't get out of the 5th inning of that ball game. 3-2, fouled back over to our left. He surrendered 10 base hits in that ball game versus the Braves. Need a lot more of that in this ball game. 9 years in the big leagues for Frankie Montas. He's bounced around a lot as well. There's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Kelenic. Jared sends one foul at the first base line, turning into a pretty good battle here between Kelenic and Montas. At the big league level, Montas has pitched with the A's, the Yankees, the
There you
White
go,
Sox,
Kelenic. Keep
the
running him
Reds,
up,
and the
baby.
Brewers, most of his career with the A's.
This will be the 9th
But
pitch
he's
of the
also
bat.
been with several other organizations at the minor league level. He's well traveled for a 31-year-old. Again, the 3-2 pitch on the way to Jared Kelenic. And he'll take a called third strike. Fastball over the outside corner. Put up a good
Got him
battle.
looking.
Fought off some good pitches, but saw a bunch of fastballs that last
Out
one.
number 1.
Looked like it perplexed him a pretty good bit. He never took the ball off his shoulder.
Yeah, that last fastball had a little bit of cut to it. So for Jared, there's a fastball away. Started out of the strike zone at the last second, cut it back in. I don't know if that was on purpose or just happens once in a while for Montas.
Austin Riley takes a ball low and outside. It's 3-0 Brewers.
Also, I just made up a verb there, cutted.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about
Yeah.
that.
You know, Shakespeare made up a bunch of words too, Ben.
I didn't know if that was you being creative or that Gator education you got. Here's 1-0 pitch on the way. Adam is low and inside.
You spend enough time with 4- and 6-year-old boys, you're going to make up some new words.
Well, it doesn't get a whole lot better when you come up here with us either.
That's right.
I think your boys have about the same IQ as we do up here. There's a 2-0 pitch on the way. And Riley takes a strike on the inside corner.
And my sons right now, we have a little aquarium. They go find, animals in the streams and the lakes in the neighborhood and bring them back. So they came home with some snails just a few days back. So now I have a colony of snails living in my kitchen.
New adventure every day. There's a called strike on Riley, 2-2.
And I said, Dane is my 6-year-old. Dane, what are the snails going to eat? He goes, oh, they're going to eat the allergies. I said, what? The allergies? He said, yeah, the allergies that grow on the rocks. It's the algae.
There's a 2-2 pitch. Riley swings and misses. Fastball got him.
So if I do make up some words, that's my excuse.
I like that.
He's talking to 6- and 4-year-olds all day.
3-0 Brewers. Here's Marcell Ozuna. Well, the Brewers in the top of the inning, 2 up and 2 down. And then the floodgates open, and the Braves open to do the same here versus Montas. At top of the first, Brewers, after the first 2 men were retired, went single, homer, double, single, and finally a strikeout. Ozuna swings and misses. Marcel having a great season, sitting on 32 home runs. 48 games left to be played after today. You'd love to see him hit the 40 home run mark for the second straight year. He hit exactly 40 last season and drove in 100. A 1 to Ozuna. That'll be lifted foul. That's up into the third deck over here to our right. Some fans who are in the sunshine go for it. Looking at the fans down there. They're basking in the sunshine. Got their sleeves rolled up. Trying to catch some rays. That should not be hard on a day like today. A very warm day here in Atlanta. There's the 0-2 pitch on the way to Ozuna. Fastball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Talking about Frankie Montas. He was originally signed by the Red Sox. He's been traded multiple times in his career. 1-2 pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna. And Marcel takes the ball low and in. There was actually one trade. This is when he was with the Dodgers, where he was traded in 2016 to the A's along with current Brave Grant Holmes. Of course, we've seen Grant a lot this season. Done a great job. However, the Braves have used him as a starter or out of the bullpen. 2-2 pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna. And he'll crack one foul up into the third deck again down the right field line.
That Montas four-seamer is cutting. I mean, that's going to be tough to deal with, especially how late the movement is coming. Marcel, great job just to foul that one off.
Trying to stay out of a 1-2-3 inning. 2-2 pitch. Softly punched out to short. To his left, Adames bobbles, and he has no play. Should have been a very easy play for him, but he lost traction, lost his footing, and had to go down to his knees into the dirt. Now he's kind of patching up the spot that he left behind him. That'll be an error charge to Adames. Booted it and then fell to the ground. And then looked back at the ground as if it was the dirt's fault. So an E6 keeps the inning alive for Matt Olson. And takes the ball low and outside.
Got to give some credit to Ozuna there for giving some effort out of the batter's box. It looked like a soft ground ball right at the shortstop, but booking it down the line, and Adames didn't have time to recover from his error.
This will be his 22nd pitch of the inning. Olson takes the ball low. Matt in the series 3 for 7. Had a sac fly RBI in the first inning last night. Had a couple of doubles in game 1. A little bit low, 3 balls and no strikes. Matt's last home run was a first inning home run against the Marlins earlier this homestand. That was Thursday of last week. That was a 2-run shot. Love to see a 2-run shot right here. Braves currently trailing 3-0 on the 3-0 pitch. And he takes ball 4. So now the Braves have the door open a little bit with 2 down here in the first inning. That'll bring Orlando Arcia up to the plate with 2 men aboard. So back-to-back strikeouts by Montas, but then an error allowed Marcell Ozuna to reach, and then Matt Olson with that walk.
Yeah, you'd like to answer those early 3 runs from the Brewers, and these 2 innings have kind of developed the same. With it looks like going to be an easy, quick inning, and then that third batter finds his way on base and gives the hitting team an opportunity.
Oh,
Orlando can take
Rapster.
advantage of that, like Contreras did.
Yeah, I don't know how long you guys couldn't hear me talking.
To answer what Brewers did at the top of the inning. 3
Sorry.
runs on 4 hits for the Brewers.
Go figure, if it isn't the game sound, it's my microphone.
2 for 7 in this series, facing the right-hander Montas. Runners take their leads. And the
all right, so here we go.
That'll miss low. That rolls away.
That's
from
low
the catcher,
and miss.
Haas. Well, those are not track stars out there in Olson and Ozuna, so they stay put.
Yeah, you think?
Warm day here in Atlanta. I got a few passing clouds.
Announcer
but
says
them passing in front of
those
the sun
2 out
right
there
now.
aren't
Bright
track stars,
sunshine
so
all over the
those stay
place.
put.
Light breeze in from right center field.
I don't know.
Wave in the
Maddie's
back.
got
Low
some.
pitch on the
He's
way.
got some
Fouled off,
head.
and the
He's
count
got a
even
head of
1-1.
steam. We watched him leg that triple out.
If Arcia can reach, Darno would come to the plate. And the Braves making Montas go through some first inning bullets here early. Olson a lead at first. Ozuna down at second base.
1-1 count.
1-1 offering. Swung on, missed. Had a big swing there to fastball. 1-2. There's Charlie Morton getting a little bit of a breather after seeing 7 men come to the plate at the top of the first inning. Orlando awaits the 1-2. Montas a long glance to second. He kicks and deals. That'll miss high. The count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Montas, feeling the heat, uses the left sleeve of his Navy uniform to wipe some sweat from his face. Both pitchers going through a lot of pitches in the first inning of the ball game. 2-2, good swing. Found it straight back. He was right on that fastball. Orlando's been a hot hitter. He's reached base in 19 straight games. And a .311 average in that span, including 4 home runs. It's a home run here. You got a tie ball game. See if he sits fastball. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Check swing. They appeal, and he did go. It was a splitter and a good one.
I want to see that.
Could not keep that barrel of the bat.
Give us a replay. I got to see that bat
no
would.
runs, no hits, no errors.
Yeah,
I
I'll
should
give
say,
it.
2 left. And at the end of 1, it is 3-0.
All right, good
After
call.
suffering an injury, you may face.
Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in. Hey, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit that thumbs up for us. Certainly appreciate it. And if you haven't noticed it, we are exactly 9 subs away from our 1,100 goal. So if you'd like to help us reach that goal and you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell at the top. Remember to get your chat votes in. And head on over to youtube.com/@ClanHBS and head into the community page. Get your votes and your thumbs up liking all done in there as well. Normally, under good circumstances, if we'd still be in the running for a Golden Broom celebration or a chat vote celebration, but we've already had a game that we got wrong, so and the Braves already lost, so there's no way to go the sweep. So it's all for fun and just to be interactive right now, but normally there's the opportunity that you could
3-0 Brewers into the top of the second inning. They'll be sitting up 8-9-1 here in the top of the second. Alongside Darren O'Day and our producer engineer Jonathan Chadwick, Ben Ingram here with you, and great to have you with us on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Not out to a great start in this one, as the Brewers picked up 3 runs in the top of the first inning. Braves had something going as Ozuna reached on an error and then Olson on a walk, but Braves could not get those runners over or get them in. Charlie Morton threw 27 pitches in the first inning. Here's his first pitch to Joey Ortiz. Curveball misses low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ortiz has really been scrappy. We're talking about how scrappy this bunch is as a whole. Ortiz might be at the top of that list. A .253 hitter. 1-0 pitch in for a called strike.
There's a called strike. 1-1 count.
And he's hit some bad pitches for base
81
hits.
mile an hour curveball.
Yeah, a couple of those stick out. Balls
Morton
that
will
would have
be
bounced
pitching his
one last night
30th
off Chris
pitch.
Sale that turned out to be a big part of the game.
Called strike.
Strike
Good sinker.
2.
Yeah, he went down and dug
Joey
a
Ortiz
Chris
with
Sale
a
slider out of the
253
dirt.
batting average, 7
Got
home
himself
runs,
a big base hit.
35
and,
ribbies in a
run. So,
.757.
yeah, it's pretty good to have this guy down there at the bottom of your lineup with the bats like that.
1-2 from Charlie, low and outside. Well, and it's like Braves pitchers have no problem getting him to 2 strikes, but just putting him away. I think about that pitch you just mentioned. If it had been any lower, he'd have needed a post hole digger to go find it. And just finds a way to make contact and find a hole. Use the speed and get on base. 2-2, roll to the left side.
That's going to
by
be over to
Garcia.
shortstop.
Quick exchange, good play.
Throw to first
Good
for
throw
them.
there just in time.
For the out, number 1.
One down here at the top of the
Couldn't get it
second
out of my
inning.
mouth.
Folks, if you're
It's
looking
like,
to spice up your game day grub, reach for the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce. Flavor favors the bold. I was able to mix some of that in with my breakfast this morning. Woke me up, that's for sure.
Come on now, we got 18 people in here. If you haven't
down
done
for
so
Eric
yet, be
Haas.
sure to subscribe to the channel. We're exactly
H-A-A-S-E,
9 subs away from
333
hitting that
hitter.
1,100 milestone.
An attempt at a
Love it. If you
front
guys
door
could help
curveball
us
misses
out.
low and inside.
How you doing,
Haas,
right,
31
Robert?
years old, out of Dearborn,
Robert.
Michigan. 7 years in the big leagues. This is his first season with the Brewers. He'll receive a strike right there at the top of the zone with a cutter.
Urkel? Michael? Sorry if I messed up your name.
3-0 Milwaukee.
Yeah, I know,
top of the
right?
second. 1-1 pitch, check swing.
Oh,
He
it's
definitely
just
went.
been so disheartening this season.
Change up that time by Charlie. So he's really mixing things up right now.
Ass
Sure is.
with
I
a
think Charlie knows
333
he's gotta
batting
get
average,
deep in
3
this
home
game.
runs, 8
You know, he
ribbies,
can't throw as many
and
pitches
an
as he did in that
OPS
first
of
inning with 27.
1.008.
We saw how Chris Sale's pitch count
He
just
is
kept
1-2
escalating
in the
after
count,
all these
1 out,
pesky
top
at-bats.
of
He
the
only got through
second.
4 2/3 yesterday. So
And
this
the
bullpen
Brewers are leading
has
the
worked
Atlanta
very
Braves
hard the last
3-0.
2 days.
Haas takes a fastball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bullpen's actually covered more innings than the starters the last 2 days. Braves have used 8 different relievers, so got to try to save some pitches.
There's 2-2. That's in the dirt. 3-2. Here's the thing. You play 162 games. Every team in baseball will go through a small stretch of the year where that's the case. But when that stretches out, that really wears you down. And that's certainly no formula to go win baseball games consistently. 3-2 pitch. Big bouncer. Out to second. Charging Merrifield. Got to hurry. Quick exchange and a nice play by Witt.
Beautiful.
And dart in from his position at second. By the time he got to it, it was on the grass. And he got rid of it very quickly on that big chopper out there. 2 down.
Yeah, both of those last 2 plays by Arce and Merrifield, both great plays. That everything had to go perfectly to get these runners, these Brewers runners that run well, out at first, and they did.
2 down, back to the top of the order to Bryce Terang. It's 3-0 Milwaukee. And Terang takes a ball low. Another part of that is thinking about what's coming up for the Braves. You're about to head to Coors Field.
Yep.
And if there's a ballpark in the big leagues that'll be a buzzsaw and a bullpen, it's that place. 1-0 pitch will miss outside.
And you don't have another off day for 2 weeks. So it's going to be a big test here.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these starters, we're accustomed to them going 6-7 innings. We need some more.
All right, so we're 2-0 in the count.
2-0 pitch in the air down the left field line, slicing towards
Foul
the
ball.
seats. And foul. I wonder if one of the first things a manager looks at when the next year's schedule comes out is when
He's
am
got
I
a
in Denver
262
and for how
batting
many
average,
games?
6 home runs.
You get a 4-game series
46
in Denver, that
ribbies
can
and
really
a
run your
681
bullpen ragged.
OPS.
Absolutely.
And for the Braves, it'll be
Aaron,
just 3
it's 0
games,
for 1 on
but
the
it's
day.
3 games in August in Denver. And nobody's 100% this time of year. 2-1 pitch, low and inside, 3-1.
I was just in Denver a couple weeks ago with the family, and we walked by Coors Field, had some dinners, and it's one of my favorite places to go to play. Tough place to pitch, though. I mean, the breaking balls just don't break like you're accustomed to there.
3-1 on the way to Terang. There's a called strike. You need some good changeup pitchers in that ballpark, don't you?
You do, yeah. Changeups and sinkers. If you look at the Colorado Rockies, a lot of the pitchers that have been standouts there were sinker ballers because the sinker isn't affected by the altitude.
3-2 low and in, almost hit him in the foot, and it's ball 4. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Atlanta Braves radio network.
Never miss a pitch
gonna
of
be a
the
walk.
Braves.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan, and streaming free on the Fan app.
That's another 2-out base runner for the Brewers. They have now had 5 men reach in the ball game, and all 5 have reached after the second out was recorded. They lead 3-0 here in the top of the second. Pick off over to first base, and back in over there is Bryce Terang. You think about winning today's ball game, not looking far ahead, but I think when it comes to planning, and especially when it comes to your relievers and having guys ready and healthy, it's easy to manage this ball game with one eye on today and the other eye on what you have coming up the next few days. That'll be bunted, fouled on the third base line.
I mean, it's a must at this level. I mean, because the schedule doesn't relent. It's not like, you know, in the NFL where you have 6 days between games or even 7. As soon as this game ends, you got to start getting ready for the next one. So a pitching coach and a manager have to sit there and plan contingencies. Okay, if we have a short start tomorrow, who's going to cover that? Because you don't want to risk injury with some of your good late inning guys down in the bullpen.
Runner goes, and this one is hit to deep left center field, flying back to the wall. And that is into the seats for a 2-run home run. Jackson Churio, who just attempted a couple of pitches ago.
Come on, Snit, man. That's 5.
And drives one over the left field wall. And it is now 5-0 Milwaukee on their second 2-run home run of the ball game. All the damage coming with 2 down in both innings.
Yeah, Charlie just can't get that third out early in this game. And I was thinking this at bat. We talked about how important Charlie's curveball is to him to get these outs at this point in his career. Jackson Churio, one of the hottest hitters in the league right now, and he got him out on a curveball last time. I was curious to see how he was going to change his approach to get Churio out that time.
2 down for Garrett Mitchell. He'll swing and miss.
And unfortunately, he laid a curveball right down the middle of the zone. Churio did not miss it.
The 1 to Mitchell. None is low and outside. There probably aren't too many things that'll grind the gears of a pitcher more than 2 up and 2 down, and all of a sudden here come the runs, walks, base hits, and you can't get that third out. There's a ball low and outside. And that's 2 straight innings of that for Charlie now.
And goes back to Bryce Terang working that full count walk, fouling off some good pitches and getting some ones he didn't even have to think about swinging at.
2-1 inside, turned him out of the box at a 3-1 count.
And now the starting pitcher's back in the stretch where he's not as comfortable. And in these last 2 innings, as soon as Charlie's gotten into the stretch with base runners on, he's kind of lost his command.
Mavericks.
3-1.
Mavericks texting me telling me the game looks to be over.
That's got a lot of carry to it. That's taking flight back to the wall.
Back-to-back jacks. Another one. Come on, Snit. Hold him.
This one the second of the season for Garrett Mitchell. And it's now 6-0 Brewers.
You know, we might have had a chance coming back at 3, but we're down 6 now. I don't foresee that happening.
That'll extend the inning for William Contreras. So in the first inning, 2 up, 2 down, and then single, homer, double, single, finally a strikeout. In the second inning, 2 up, 2 down, then walk, homer, homer. William Contreras takes the ball up and in. So it's been the 2-out blues for Charlie Morton. Just cannot find that third out.
Again, that was Mitchell's second home run of the season in a 3-1 count. It's the 3rd time this season the Brewers have hit back-to-back home runs.
1-0 pitch will miss low. You think about all the damage the Brewers have done at the plate in this series. 10 runs on 16 hits in game 1. They belted 2 homers. Last night, they didn't even need the long ball. 8 runs and 16 hits. But today, right back to the power surge. They had a 3-run first. It's been a 3-run second. And they've hit 3 home runs. And now the 2-0 pitch on the way to Contreras. Just low and outside with a curveball.
So going back to the bullpen management conversation, Charlie's now given up 6 runs. So doesn't have his best stuff. Now his focus is to get deeper in the game and save that bullpen some work.
Contreras takes a strike.
And normally when your starter goes out and gives up 6, you're going to have somebody warming up. But unfortunately, the Braves have just been so taxed lately down in that bullpen. They don't have that option.
3-1 pitch. That'll be sent foul on the left field line. Now, the Braves did make a roster move today, selecting right-handed pitcher Parker Dunshee to the Major League roster, and recalled Eli White to Atlanta. And in the process, the club optioned Dylan Dodd, who pitched 2 innings last night, to AAA Gwinnett, and also DFA'd Eddie Rosario. That'll be fouled off by Contreras. And it's looking more and more like we could see multiple innings out of Parker Dunshee in this ball game. And with that, he is up and tossing in the bullpen. Three-two to Contreras. And he sends one deep down the right field line, hunting the
I don't know, Kenneth. You'll have to go to his channel and ask him.
Ball right outside the line.
He hasn't told me anything.
Just barely missed being a fair ball.
But old Parker Dunshee's heart rate about 150 right now, if not higher. For that major league debut. It's always a shock to the system when the phone rings and you kind of jump out of your seat.
He hasn't said a word to me about it, so.
Well, that's the thing. It could be.
I know he has no plans to do it on Saturday because he's
like that for your big league debut.
Absolutely.
He's got his
3-2 to Contreras.
Goes to his buddies every Saturday.
Chases and just got a tip of it. Curveball that he barely got a stitch of, fouled it off into the gear of Travis d'Arnaud to hang alive. Dunshee's first appearance will mark his major league debut, so that could be coming sooner rather than later. 6-0 Brewers, top of the second inning.
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
60th pitch of the game for Charlie, and a ground ball to shortstop. And up with it cleanly, Orlando
Garcia has it over to Matt Olson for out number 3.
Finally is out number 3.
Finally, we're going to head to the bottom of the second.
2 home runs for the Brewers, 3 runs altogether.
All right, I'm going to take this short break.
6-0 Milwaukee.
I shall be back.
If you're hurt and trying to, here are some questions you need to ask. Do they have a fully staffed office right here in town? We do. Have they litigated thousands of cases here in Georgia? We have. And have they collected billions of dollars for their clients? You know we have. One call, that's all.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN, spokesperson for Kenneth S. Nugent, PC, attorneys at law. See website for details. 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309.
Live like a champion with Simply Sports CBD. Simply Sports CBD is the athlete's choice and trainer's #1 recommendation for a reason. It's NSF certified. As the choice CBD of Olympic surfer Brisa Hennessy and proud partner of the Atlanta Braves, Simply Sports CBD is trusted by the best for training, recovery, and performance. Whether it's the day-to-day grind or the thrill of competition, Simply Sports CBD helps you stay at the top of your game. Get the CBD athletes trust. Live like a champion. Available at thegeorgiahempcompany.com.
The laundry room. Until we got Xfinity, this was the only place to get a good Wi-Fi connection. But now we have Wi-Fi all over the house. So you're probably wondering why I'm still hanging out in here. Well, the truth is, it's warm in here. And I like the smell of dryer sheets.
Get out of here, weirdo.
Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary.
The Atlanta Braves Kids Club is a free program for Braves fans 14 and under. Visit Braves.com/kids to learn more.
Hey, it's Kevin McAlpin, and you can stream Atlanta Braves baseball totally free on the all-new 680 The Fan app. Now back to Braves baseball only on The Fan.
6-0 Brewers. Tell you what, not the kind of history you want to make. This is the first time in Charlie Morton's career he's allowed 3 two-out home runs in a single game. This is his 374th career appearance. First time that's happened. So that's been the tale of the ball game to this point. What the Brewers have done with 2 down. They have 3 home runs with 2 down. And altogether 6 runs on 6 hits for the Brewers. No runs, no hits for the Braves. And now the umpire having to signal the security team off the field. They're still playing the music, and they assumed they were still between innings. But first base umpire Chad Fairchild to say, hey, let's go. Travis digging in. d'Arnaud, Laureano, and Duvall for the Braves in the bottom of the second inning. And Travis takes ball outside. This is the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge inning. Need some good news. Maybe the Braves can get a stolen base for Terry Collins.
I see your remark to that.
As Terry's our contestant today in the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge inning. 1-0 pitch. Called strike. If the Braves steal a base here in the second inning, Terry Collins will win $650 in free Marathon gas cards. And you can enter the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge by visiting Braves.com.
Oh,
There's the 2-1 pitch. That'll be fouled back. Always liked Terry. He was a good baseball man.
Oh, yeah.
That audio from one of his ejections in his career, it's been around for several years, still one of the best pieces of on-field audio I've heard in a while. There's the 2-2 pitch. And Darno tips that into the mitt of Eric Haas for strike 3. When you think of ejections in your career, are there any that really stand out for some of the best you've ever seen? It could be a player, a manager, anybody who really gave it to an umpire and just really let it loose against an umpire.
I wasn't there for it, but the Braves minor league manager that, Army crawled behind the mound.
Yeah, Philip Wellman. Oriano takes a called strike. I was the number 2 broadcaster for that team.
Were you really?
But it was on the road. And I only did the middle 3 innings of home games that year. But my phone blew up, and I was thinking, what's going on? Nothing in one on Ramon Laureano. 1 pitch, that'll be fouled off.
Yeah, I would really love to hear your play-by-play on that.
I would have had so much fun with that.
That was so good.
At the time, so that was 2007. That was my first season in the Braves organization. And I was the number 2 broadcaster with the Mississippi Braves. And Brian Eubank was our lead broadcaster. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That'll be swung on, miss for strike 3. And next thing I know, I started getting text messages and phone calls asking if I'm calling the game. And I said no. And I remember texting Brian, who was our broadcaster, and I said, what's happening in Chattanooga? He said, I'll have to call you after the game. I can't explain it on a text message.
Calls do seem to be better tonight.
Went viral.
Today, anyway.
But I'll tell you something that Philip told me about that moment. There's Adam Duvall with 2 down. There's a called strike. The next year, I became the lead broadcaster for the Mississippi Braves. They're 8, 9, and 10. And Philip was our manager the whole time, and I love Philip Wellman to death. I mean, just one of my favorite people in the game. And he's obviously so much more than that viral video. Just a terrific manager. 0-1 pitch outside. But he was a showman as well. And he used to manage in Chattanooga, so that was in the stadium he used to work in. And he told me, look, I got to cool some things down after that, but just so you know, I had something else planned that was going to be even better than that I'll never be able to use. And he never told us what it was. 1-1 low and outside.
Yeah, that was epic. So it was premeditated.
Yeah.
He just said, when I go, I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. I love that.
He had a plan, and he saw his opportunity, and the next thing he knew, he was tossing the rosin bag grenade. 2-1 to Duvall, and Duvall, it's a high fly ball to left. Got under it. Jackson Churio
out to the
just
track,
at the edge of the warning track.
Caught for out catch. Number 3.
And the Braves go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. We played 2 innings. We head to the top of the third. 6-0 Brewers.
6-0 Brewers. Every bit of our hopes dashed by poor management. Absolutely we cannot blame an umpire tonight. Can't blame the ump tonight. That was straight up Charlie Morton couldn't get his act together. And I'm sure he's going to come out for the top of the third. Exactly, in 2 innings. This time he was what? 3 guys in? 3 guys in when he gave one up?
start for the Braves today. Feeling like a new verse of the same old song that we've been listening to the last few ball games. In a tough series here versus Milwaukee. Here's Willie Adames. And Adames takes a called strike. Alongside Darren O'Day and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you from Truist Park. Warm summer day here at the ballpark. Wind up in the 0-1 pitch. That'll be fouled off the foot of Willie Adames, who'll hobble around, 0-2. Want to remind you, Napa is a proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. America's largest network for parts and care. Napa has all the bases covered when it comes to your ride. Now a reprieve from the sweltering sunshine as a cloud passes by, covers the entire field in shade. I'm sure everybody down there enjoys that, at least for the time being. And it is short-lived. Here comes the sun again. 0-2 on Adames. Charlie with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. 0-2. It's lifted in the air towards foul ground. And it'll land into the lower bowl of the
welcome
stadium.
in, Tim.
0-2 on Adames.
Charlie's going to need all the help he can get in that second inning. He threw 33 pitches. That's a big workload in this midday Atlanta sun.
You make me smile.
0-2 low and outside.
Even on a crappy
when it comes to pitching day games,
today, still make me smile.
when you're out there inning after inning, I know you're a reliever, but you're a guy who go out there for multiple innings sometimes. There's a 1-2 on the way. And that's launched out there to deep left field. Duvall going back to the wall.
That's
again,
another one.
And he leaps, and it's out of his reach for another home run.
Come on, Snit. You going to bowl him or what?
That is the 4th home run allowed by Charlie Morton here in the ball game. And Adames has joined the 20 home run club here in 2024.
Did you see that?
Now 7-0.
No, you guys didn't see that. So, that home run gets hit.
Charlie hard.
A guy gets the ball.
A day game like this is so
he's
hot.
standing there.
And you're sweating.
And some little
profusely.
girl
Is that one
comes
of the
up and
biggest
must have
challenges
asked
of
him,
being
hey,
out there
can
for
I
a
have
day
the
game,
ball?
getting a good grip?
You could see the guy like contemplate,
Any pitcher
man.
that says they love day games is
Do I
crazy.
give this to her? And finally he actually handed it to her.
Maybe in April or late September up north, but
I'm sorry, but I would have been like,
warmer,
tough
but
luck,
man,
kid, get
down
your
here,
own.
Absolutely not.
Freelick takes a called strike.
So Braves do a nice job on the
Go
nutrition
bat
side.
your little blue
Before
eyes
the guy
somewhere
starts,
else.
they have
That
a
ain't gonna
whole
work
crew laid
on
out
me.
with, all
I'm
the
keeping
things
my
he needs, all the
souvenir.
electrolytes he needs to get through his outing.
1-1 up the middle to his left. Arcia just out of his reach. Face it in the center field.
Arcia, you didn't even try. See, look here. You can already tell that they don't even care.
How much you sweat by
Arcia
volume
didn't
and
hustle
how
for
many
that ball
electrolytes you sweat
whatsoever.
out so that they know
Any other
how they can
game,
better
he would have been
replace those
diving
when you
for
are
it.
sweating on a day like
He
this.
could have
So
knocked that ball
Charlie
down.
has a cooler with his name on it.
He didn't even
and,
attempt it.
He'll have all of his special drinks, and each starter, each player will have their own special cooler according to their.
I'm sorry, but
needs as
Snit
well.
doesn't have control of this
What
team.
goes into a sweat
If he
test?
did, his team would be hustling every
sweat,
play.
First of all,
Jake Bowers takes the ball outside. What do you do? Is that just coming off the field for a game?
I've done them a couple different ways. One, when I was with the Yankees, they put you in a sauna, and they put a little patch on your arm attached to a little, analyzer machine. And then with the Braves, they just put a patch on your arm that heats up, and
Pick off over to first, back in with a dive Freely.
so the patch heats up and causes that little part of your arm to sweat.
Well, here's how I
So,
look at it, Lane.
they
Like,
know,
I've never been to a
how
game.
much volume.
So I go there.
And how many electrolytes you need in
how
that
many
water.
chances in my life am I going to have?
Jake Bowers takes a called
Am I
strike.
going to
I'm
have
guessing you were on the
to
weather
get a
end of
souvenir
sweat
like
test.
that?
I
That
have
kid's
been
got her
known
whole life
to perspire
ahead
a
of her to
little
go
bit,
back and get
Yeah, my whole
one.
life. Little fat Darren sweated quite a bit.
I would have told her, kick
Have to go through
bricks,
multiple jerseys on a game like this.
kick rocks.
1-1 pitch. Ground ball, first base side, spinning stop by Olsen. The
There's
second
one.
back to first base, and the throw goes
And
to the
overthrown.
regular dugout. Charlie was trying to get there, but he couldn't quite get to the bag in time. So they get the out at second base of Freely.
You tell me why Charlie couldn't have got there from the time that ball left, went to second.
I'm going to make that.
That's
play by
right,
Matt,
because
the
you
Truist
didn't
play of the
hustle.
game. Brought to you by Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank member FDIC. It was a nice play by Matt.
It was a nice play.
Oh, let's
Yesterday
just
we had
jaunt
rejection
over.
as the play of the game.
Let's
Which was
jog.
my favorite
It
Truist
was.
play of the game of the season.
In that moment, I 100% agreed with you. Snit getting ejected, got the team fired up. Big Austin Riley 2-run homer.
Well, now they're going to come out and check on Charlie. Trainer's going to come out. Brian Snitker coming out as well.
Oh, Charlie.
Rosenbag.
I have noticed him stretching his forearm a couple times, but more so probably concerned about when, Matt Olson threw that ground ball to Arcia at second. When Arcia threw it to first, Charlie didn't even really make an effort to catch it.
See?
And
there you go.
Charlie having to cover first base, the first out of the game. Bryce Terang, potentially something in his lower body.
Well, they seem to be satisfied.
Whatever it is, they're leaving him out there.
And back to the dugout. Charlie's going to stay in the ball game. He's at 71 pitches, 44 strikes. Braves trailing the Brewers 7-0 here in the top of the third inning. 7 runs on 8 hits, including 4 home runs for Milwaukee. Pickoff over to first base, close play, and Bauer's back in there.
You give Charlie credit. When the manager and the trainer come out, that's an easy way to, pull the chute. Say I'm done for today, and try to say no, I'm fine. I'm going to help my team out and keep pitching here. Save some of those bullpen arms.
Ortiz takes a called strike. Well, that's without a doubt the next challenge on his plate right now. When you're trailing 7-0, now it's a matter of trying to save your bullpen as much as possible, not just for the rest of this ball game, but the upcoming road trip. You don't have an off day for a couple of weeks. Got a series in Denver coming up, always a challenge. Ball a little bit low, missed with a sinker. And while today might not be going all that well, maybe you can help win a ball game down the road by going deeper into this ball game.
Charlie throws over to first.
And back into the dive, Bowers.
I will say the older I got in the league, the more the hot days gave me trouble. And you think back to your childhood, I grew up in Florida, played in a lot of hot games. It never bothered me. I mean, you were hot, but it was just life.
1-1 low and outside. Everything in Florida's hot.
Yeah, and another thing the Braves do is they try to heat acclimate guys by making them spend time in the sauna, specifically after a workout. Your heart rate's already elevated. You can get in that sauna and kind of extend that workout and get more used to that heat.
2-1 pitch finds its mark right at the bottom of the zone.
And what that does is it causes your body to produce more plasma. So you think about your
2-2 count.
Your blood as the
run
out,
of a car, run around first,
of
top of the
you
third.
Have in your radiator, the more you can cool off that engine. So if you can have more blood plasma.
Pick off to first base, and that'll be a balk because they didn't get him. They threw over for a third time, and Bauer's down to second base.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
So if you can increase the amount of blood plasma you have on a hot day like this, your radiator is going to be bigger. And so, everybody's looking for an advantage in the major leagues, and that's one the Braves picked out a few years ago. And now they asked their guys to go sit in that sauna and get used to the heat.
Boy, you ought to know you are going to health class at A, did you? Pitch on the way, and that'll be fouled back. That's impressive knowledge by you.
Oh, thank you.
Count a state of Sam will do it again.
Push the team to start doing that. If you think about it, you go right from spring training in Florida where it's hot, and then you go to Minnesota and it's freezing cold, and then you go right from hot to cold, and actually heat acclimatization can help you battle cold weather as well. The more blood you have, the better you are.
2 low and outside, 3-2.
At regulating your body's temperature. Yep. When I got old, I was looking for every advantage, so that's where some of that stuff came from.
7-0 Brewers as we're in the top of the third inning. Runner at second, 1 out. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Joey Ortiz, who's 0-1 with a ground out. Charlie deals a little tapper foul. I'm guessing that towards the end of your career, you despise day games so much that on Saturdays or anytime there's a night game before a day game, Skip, get me in there.
Yeah,
I can give you 6 outs tonight.
Absolutely. We're a team, but you're also thinking about yourself down there in the bullpen, and you're like, man, I would love to pitch tonight. Or I've talked about it earlier in the season, pitching in the first game of a doubleheader. I loved it because then likely you were off the second game. Sometimes you'll go twice in a day. They don't love doing that, but just having the rest of that day off is nice.
3-2 pitch. Right off again down the third baseline.
Yes, ma'am.
Gosh, these Brewers just grind their at-bats out. We keep talking about it, but it's been really impressive watching them being able to make the Braves pitchers work here.
Well, I've certainly learned everything I wanted to know about the Brewers. We've not seen them all year until last week. And the Braves now seeing them for the 6th time in an 11-day span.
That's good.
3-2 fouled back. What I'm getting at is, all along we watched from afar. They're top the National League Central, and it really created some good space between themselves and the rest of the pack. Cubs and Reds have underachieved. You got the Cardinals and the Pirates trying to hang in there. All those teams between 6 and 9 games back with the Brewers, but they've been very consistent all year with a pretty good lead. 3-2 to Ortiz. Got him looking for strike 3.
Got him looking.
Fastball locations of the day for Charlie. And 2 down. But I wanted to see this Brewers team and see, okay, this is a team that went to a brand new manager. They lost their ace from last year. What are they doing? How do they look? And I will certainly learn everything I need to know about the Brewers because they're scrappy top to bottom in the order. They fight through at bats. They don't strike out a ton. They steal bases. They don't hit a bunch of homers, but it's not like they're devoid of power. We've seen that today. Eric Haas will send one foul. So going back to your point from last night, if they can pitch in the postseason, they're going to be a really tough team to bounce out of there.
Yeah, today especially, they've taken advantage of every mistake Charlie's made. Every mislocated pitch has been hit hard and usually hit over the fence today. And that's a sign of a team that's locked in the batter's box.
A 1 to Haas, stroked up the middle, and a base hit into center field. Making the turn at third base, Jake Bowers will score. And it is now 8-0 Brewers as they have hung a snowman up there on the board here in the first 3 innings of the ball game. And that'll be the final pitch fired by Charlie Morton. 83 pitches for Charlie.
Charlie's done.
Runs allowed. Here comes Brian Snitker. So this is the Arrow Exterminator's call to the bullpen. Make the right call and protect your home or business from pests by calling 888-ARROW or make your visit to their website, arrowexterminators.com. When we come back, it'll be the Major League debut.
After suffering an injury, you may face...
It'll be Major League debut. This might be the feller that we talked about earlier in the stream. Hey, Liberty, how you doing? It's a good possibility. He's definitely been off. He's been off.
Pound right-hander, 29 years old.
Parker Dungy
Indiana.
will be the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves.
Double-A Mississippi.
This is his Major League debut.
Left-handed batter Bryce Terang.
How you doing, CeeLo?
Yeah. First pitch to
I know,
him.
right?
That'll miss low and inside. Showed him a first pitch slider.
Yeah, you can't get any more abysmal than this.
Altogether for Dungy in his minor league career, 7 seasons, 590 innings. There's a ball punched to second. Nice play by Whit Merrifield. Able to scoop it down around his shoe tops. Throws over to first base.
Hey, D, how you doing?
3. And Parker Dungy gets
He
his
said
first
he's
out
going back to work.
in the big league against the first batter that he faces. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 8-0 Milwaukee.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said maracas.
Yeah, the players aren't even giving effort now. there's ground balls that the Brewers have been hitting that should have been knocked down. That on any other good day, our guys would have been on top of them. Yeah, they're just letting them. They're barely running after them. Yeah. Oh, abysmal outing for Morton. And I thought Elder was bad. D says the DFA, though, the whole entire Braves. Definitely how this fan feels.
All Brewers today. They lead 8-0 here on the 8th of August. And it will be 9-1-2 coming up for the Braves with Merrifield, Kelnick, and Riley. Alongside Darren O'Day and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. Just saw the big league debut of Parker Dunshee in the top of the inning. Got a ground out versus Bryce Terang. The only batter that he faced that inning. Got the Braves through that inning. Final line on Charlie Morton. 2 2/3 of an inning, 8 runs, 8 earned, 9 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and 4 home runs allowed. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Whit Merrifield. And he'll receive a called strike. Meanwhile, Frankie Montas has to feel like he's 10 feet tall and bulletproof right now with an 8-0 lead. 1-1 to Merrifield. Then it's low and outside. Francelis Montas, that's his full name, goes by Frankie. Second time the Braves have seen him here in the last couple of weeks. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Chase and a miss by Merrifield. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves still looking for their first base hit of the ball game. Brewers already have 9. 2-2 is outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Be outside for ball 3.
Well, they have come to Atlanta and they have just ripped the cover off the ball.
3-2 count to Whit Merrifield. Merrifield with a 203 batting average, 3 home runs, 11 ribbies, and a 580 OPS.
And we're only in the 3rd inning of the 3rd game. 3-2
I
pitch
know
on
it.
the way.
I know it.
Low and outside. There's a
I don't
leadoff
think we're going
walk
to
here in
stop
the 3rd
them.
inning. Folks,
I truly believe they're going to get more than 10 on us.
With the fastest speeds and reliable connection you can count on for all your devices, even when everyone's online. Xfinity, proud partner of the Braves. Top of the order to Jared Kelnick. Now Montas stepped off the back of the rubber, had an issue with his pitch comm device for a moment. I think he's all right now. But even on a day
I don't know.
leading 8-0,
I don't foresee us.
You probably don't even need the pitch comm. Not right now.
Will our defense even stop?
There's a
stop
strike on the
them
outside corner. He's
anymore?
going to throw strikes.
Overall, everything has been
that leadoff
terrible
walk
tonight.
is not ideal, and I guarantee his pitching coach and his manager are just in the dugout groaning. Up by 8, and you walk the leadoff guy.
Very much so. 1 to Kelnick. That will miss low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
One thing the Braves do have in their favor is that after a series like this, sometimes it helps to get out of town.
I believe it.
And just be on the road, just the group together. You know, this is a great place to play, but you know, these Braves fans have been spoiled with some great baseball the last few years, not quite up to that level this year, and especially here in the last week.
Time called. Even with an 8-0 lead, I don't think Frankie Montas can pitch without a pitch comm device. This is unbelievable. They're going to run a new device out there to him.
Yeah, these Brewers need to fire their IT guy. This is the second time in 2 nights the pitch comm has delayed the game in a couple games that have already been long enough.
He nods and said this one works. I would think, and you tell me, I would think in a situation like that, it's 8-0. I've got a big lead. Look, just drop fingers.
Absolutely.
There's a runner at first base. I mean, this guy's been around long enough, 9 years in the big leagues. He should know how to pitch with just fingers instead of a pitch comm device, especially with an 8-0 lead.
And when I played, we would have a contingency set up for when the pitch comm did not work. Travis and I would have a sign system we were going to go to.
All right, so 1-1 count.
I actually prefer
1 out or no outs. Run around first.
At the beginning.
Bottom of the third.
Ball and a strike on Kelnick. Pitch on the way, and that'll be pulled foul down the right field line.
Foul ball.
How much did that change from college to minor leagues to the big leagues in terms of the complexities of signs and going through them and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it all really changed. I'll be honest, a couple years before the Astros got caught. We knew what was going on. We knew that there was some funny business going on. It just happened again.
So now his new pitch comm device doesn't work. Now he's going to trade out with Jake Bowers, first baseman. Maybe
he's fibbing.
Is shorting out.
I've never seen a first baseman wear a pitch comm. And that this game, man.
It is 8-0, and he's gone through 2 pitch comm devices, and apparently is not capable of pitching using just fingers from Eric Haas. Now he steps off again. This is incredible. He shakes his head because he can't get the device to work, and then finally some common sense as somebody from the Brewers dugout, I think, just hollered at him, just use fingers. There you go. There's the 1-2 pitch. That'll miss outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the Braves are not one of the teams that steal signs. You know, a lot of people around the league were whispering they might be doing something last few years because of their offensive production, but in my experience, the Braves do not do that. They don't relay pitch tips.
2-2 pitch. Kelnick reaches out, pokes one foul. All right, let me ask you this. You said that in the years leading up to the Astros, you knew that there was something going on. What were those first conversations like? Because obviously guys talk.
Yeah.
And what were teams and other players saying?
What the Astros were doing, to me, was so foolish.
The umpire of yesterday just...
2-2.
It was unreal, the calls.
And so to think you're going to keep that a secret.
I started putting together a video of it.
It's pretty dumb.
Of all the balls and all the strike calls. Whether they were for the Braves or against the Braves, whether they're for the Brewers or against the Brewers.
As soon as one of those guys finds out he goes to an opposing team in division,
the number of bad calls by that umpire is way up there.
They were cheating.
And, like...
2-2 to Kelnick.
A good portion.
3-2.
And this is all
90-some% of them were for the Brewers, called for the Brewers. Benefited them.
The media, but
it just seemed like it was
funny business going on there. New York.
Seemed like it was personal.
Those weren't quite as concrete, but Houston especially. So it got really crazy.
Easily 20, if not more.
There. 3-2 to Kelnick, up and in for ball 4. So back-to-back walks here in the 3rd inning. All right, so let me ask you this. Prior to really understanding what they were doing, there was still some suspicion as to something's going on, but maybe you couldn't quite put your finger on it?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what started the complex signs for opposing pitchers and catchers.
Yeah, because it's so much easier to hit when you know what's coming, obviously. So you get word of that. Me being extremely paranoid, I talked to the team about it.
Austin Riley takes ball low and outside.
So, guys, they're using a computer program to decode your signs as soon as a runner gets on second, right? Computers are undefeated at math. So I said you got to do your best to come up with multiple sign systems and switch them very frequently to try and beat that computer.
Runners at first and second, no one out. Austin Riley swings for the fences and misses. 1-1.
And so what we came up with was a system to change the sign systems without the camera's picking it up without the computer knowing to throw some static into that computer program. So having a nonverbal way that you and the catcher know the signs changed without the other team knowing the signs changed.
There's the 1-1 to Riley. He swings and misses.
Oh, big
I
swing
bet
and
those
miss.
are very in-depth meetings to figure all that out and get on the same page.
Well, to be honest with you, not everybody that plays in the major leagues has the capacity to do that.
Really?
And some guys didn't, and it affected their
I'll
careers.
tell you,
You know, the trash
several
can here
games back
ended
for
some
Ohtani.
opposing pitchers' careers.
I don't know what ump it was.
1-2 to Riley.
But
Now that
you don't really see a whole
8-0
lot of
Brewers
emotion
are in
out
the
of
bottom
him.
the third inning. The Braves showing some
And
life for the first time in the ball game.
Especially
Runners
when
at
it
first
comes
and second are
to,
out.
you know, talking to the umpire about things. He got a strike called on him, and he just instantly looks at the ump and he's like,
Struck out
"No,
in the first inning.
nope, no."
1-2
And he just
pitch smacked hard deep.
there you
left
go,
field.
Riley. That's
To
gone.
the wall and out of the ballpark. Right on into the Brewers.
We did not get shut out. That man gets dance, baby. Woo! Austin Riley again. 3-run home run. May I eat crow? Come on, boys. That's what we need. Come on, that's what we need. Yeah!
Goes out there, has a word to try to settle him down. How about this for Austin Riley?
8-3.
First, he's been hitting just a shade under 300. He now has 35.
That's right.
RBIs.
It was a wake-up call. We needed to wake up.
That was his 17th home run of the year. Now has 53 RBIs on the year. Ozuna clubs one
Fat
to the
man
left
got
side
the
of the base hit in the
dance.
left field.
Base hit by big Marcell Ozuna.
The Braves have
No outs, runner on first.
Montas here in the third inning. Back-to-back walks and a homer. Now that's single.
Come on, baby. Let's start warming the bats up.
By the way, that home run by Austin Riley, the first home run of the ball game for the Braves. And that means you'll save at least $75 on a setup select.
Here comes
tire
a back
discounters.
cartel, baby.
Tomorrow only, plus free alignment and free oil change.
Boom,
Stay
run,
tuned for the Hyundai
boom,
postgame
run,
show to see how
boom,
much
boom,
you'll save
boom,
tomorrow
run.
at tire discounters.
I'm going to hit
Matt
a
Olson takes
home run.
the ball a little bit outside.
Home run.
We've already talked a couple times
run,
about the warmth
home,
today.
home
Montas
run.
just threw his 21st pitch of this
The
inning
Braves
without
are hitting
recording it
a
out. So
home run.
long innings can really take a toll in weather like this.
It'll beat you down. Olson takes
We
a
could be
strike.
silly.
Splitter away.
Silly,
and
silly,
even one
silly.
ball and one strike. It's an 8-3 ball game.
Yes. Come back.
As we're in the bottom of the third inning.
Come on, Matty. Jack that ball.
Olson takes
Down
one
in the
on
dirt.
outside.
Ball
Now the Brewers
two.
have some action in their bullpen. So Charlie Morton has come out of the ball game. Braves already
Doing
into
it
their
and
pen.
doing it
Saw
and
Parker
doing it
Dunshee at the
now.
top of the inning.
Doing it and doing it.
Now the
and
Brewers
doing
have
it
some action
now.
in their bullpen. That's Big Bryce. Bryce Wilson down there. There's a sky-high pop-up. Just
Oh, Matty.
Swiveling to his
Oh.
left, makes the catch. And one down here in the third inning.
Easy can of corn.
Former Brave Bryce Wilson.
Out number one.
Out there in the bullpen for the Brewers.
Oh, look at this stud walking like, yeah.
One down here
Right.
in the third inning.
That's right. I got Matt
Good
Olson
to see
out.
the Braves cut into that 8-0
Good
ball game
job.
that we had coming into this inning. 8-0 deficit. Now the Braves with 3 runs here in the bottom of the third, looking for more. Only one down. And here's Arcia, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Arcia waves and misses at the first pitch he sees.
Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in. Hey, if you haven't done so yet, please slap that thumbs up for us. We would certainly appreciate it.
Arcia with a good swing. Fouls
Foul
one
ball.
back. And an 0-2 count. He was up to the plate in the first inning with runners at first and second and 2 down. Struck out. Trying to make up for that right here with a runner at first base and 1 down. Right-hander Frankie Montas. 68 pitches, 40 strikes. And his 0-2. High and outside. Alongside Darren O'Day and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick, Ben Ingram here with you for the final game of this series. Braves trying to avoid being swept. They got their work cut out for them, trailing by 5 runs here in the 3rd inning. 1-2 up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. After Arcia, it'll be Darno. And the 2-2 in the air towards foul ground and into the seats down the right field line. Looking around the ballpark, most of the folks who are here backed up under the shade of the deck above them. Everybody looking for some shade today, trying to get out of the sunshine. That or head to the chop house for a cold 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 on a day like today.
Be nice to be doing the game from out there today. I think we need to talk to management.
That's actually a really good idea. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Arcia. And Arcia hits one high in the air to center. Garrett Mitchell going to come in. Garrett camping
He'll
out
get under it for out number 2.
And he makes the catch. And 2 down here.
Big Bear's still going to stay
I
up
think
first.
You need to push for that just so you can really irritate Jonathan.
Get some momentum going, and then it just flutters off.
Having him move all the equipment onto the chop house for 1 ball game. He'd be thrilled to do that for you.
Yeah, we're men of the people, Jay Chad, and we need to get down.
Where is our good buddy Gino?
2 down for Travis d'Arnaud. 8-3 Brewers, bottom of the 3rd inning. And Travis hits a fly ball to deep center. Garrett Mitchell
that's going to do it.
On it. Backpedals slowly.
Out number 3.
The edge of the warning track in front of the Braves bullpen makes the catch.
But the Braves put on 3, so 8-3 lead. Milwaukee over Atlanta.
We played 3 innings, and as we head to the top of the 4th, it's 8.
Welcome in. Appreciate everybody stopping in. If you're just joining us, the Braves are, looks like we're heading to the top of the 4th. Milwaukee's leading 8-3. I know it. All right, D. Well, be careful. Work smart. Work smarter, not harder.
And 2 more in the 3rd inning. And here at the top of the 4th inning, it's the Tidal Wave Auto Spy inning, and Tidal Wave is making Braves country clean car country all season long. And if the Braves can pitch a scoreless 4th inning today, Tidal Wave will offer half off their Best Watch membership tomorrow. Learn more at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves. Well, getting another look at Parker Edward Dunshee, who's making his major league debut today. Right-hander for the Braves out of Zionsville, Indiana. And there's a ball outside. We got to see him face one batter at the top of the third inning. Got Bryce Terang to ground out. But this young man out of Indiana was a standout in multiple sports in high school. There's a called strike on Jackson Cheerio.
Well, that's the first.
Said that baseball's
that's
always
the
been his
first
favorite
ball
sport,
either way
football.
that has been questionable whether that was the right call.
Also played basketball and baseball. That'll be fouled off. He was drafted by the Cubs out of high school, but elected not to go play pro ball yet. Instead, he chose to go to Wake Forest. Originally drafted by the A's out of Wake Forest. Looking for his first strikeout, and instead he has his first hit batter. He plunks Jackson Cheerio with a slider. And the leadoff man is on for the Brewers here in the top of the fourth inning.
Trying to get an idea for what Dunshee's looking to get these Brewers hitters out with. He's thrown 6 pitches and 6 sliders, about 82 to 84. He's also got a fastball, anywhere from 88 to 92, but he's got some funk in his delivery. He's got a really long arm swing. It's tough to pick up the ball out of his hand for these hitters.
Garrett Mitchell takes the ball high and outside.
Also shows a curveball once in a while. Been strictly a reliever this year in the minor leagues, but has started in the past.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Mitchell takes a called strike. I was texting a little while ago with Chris Harris, who does a great job broadcasting the games in Mississippi for the Mississippi Braves, and thinking about some of the names that have gone from Mississippi to the big leagues this season. Dunshee, another name on that list, along with Nacho Alvarez and Hurston Waldrop, Spencer Schwellenbach. There's a called strike. There's some good players that we've seen that have advanced through multiple levels of the minor leagues into the big leagues this season for the Braves. 1-2 on Garrett Mitchell. Dunshee deals. Got him swinging. That time went with a fastball away. And they'll throw that baseball aside. That'll be on his mound for the rest of his life. First big league strikeout for Dunshee.
Come on, baby.
Does have some good strikeout
numbers. We need some
more
home runs.
I'm sorry, 32 innings, 38 strikeouts.
More strikes. We need a whole lot of help.
Strictly a reliever this season.
Called strike on William Contreras.
But he has gone 3 innings a couple times. He's gone 2+ innings multiple times. So I think probably 3 innings would be awesome for him to go today for the Braves.
He's got that major league debut patch on his left sleeve. 0-1 pitch, a rocket to deep right field, heading towards the chop house, and that is a foul ball. Slice foul just in front of the right field foul pole, and an 0-2 count on Contreras. Think about this day for Dunshee. You mentioned he's 29 years old, multiple seasons in the minor league, so he's been dreaming of the big leagues for a long time. That dream finally becoming a reality for him today. 0-2 misses low, 1-2. And when you get a few weeks down the road, and then furthermore years down the road, etc., he won't remember what the score was of this baseball game, but he'll remember the details of his first major league appearance, that first strikeout, what it all felt like. 1-2 low and outside. And I'd imagine everybody who's been in those shoes that he's in today, yourself included, can recall so many details of that big league debut and how it all came to be. 2-2. Tipped in the mid for strike 3. That was a slider that he tipped in the mid of Travis d'Arnaud. Contreras thought that hit the dirt, but home plate umpire Ryan Wills says, nope, that was caught by Travis. And he might have a case there, but it's a strikeout from where we sit. He'll take it.
We'll take it, yeah. Nice pitch by Dunshee. Slider, nice downward action there away from Contreras. Tough guy to strike out today.
Here's Willie Adames. And he comes around swinging and missing at a sinker.
Strike 1.
Nothing in 1 on Adames.
Willie Adams 2 for 2 today. He doubled in a solo home run.
0-1 pitch. Good swing and miss there. Tell you what, that sinker's looking sharp.
It sure is. And I can remember all of my Major League debut before and after I pitched. While I was out there, I had no idea what was going on.
You probably felt weightless. Runner goes, 0-2 pitch, struck him out. 94-mile-an-hour
swinging.
sinker. Parker Dunshee strikes out Mitchell
That's
Contreras.
going to do it for the
and
top of the
Thomas
fourth. We're
Miller.
going to head to the bottom of the
So finally, a
bottom
clean
of the
inning
fourth.
for a Braves pitcher. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 8-3 Milwaukee.
Another 3 or 4 run inning, and we'd be right there making it a game. Also, ladies and gentlemen, as you might have noticed, we are heading real close to that 1,100 subscriber goal. We currently need 9 subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Help us out. Help our channel continue to grow.
Better over the next few innings. Braves were down 8-0 at one point. Now an 8-3 ball game. Oriano fouls one back 0-1. Alongside Darren O'Day, Ben Ingram here with you. Final game of this homestand. 3-city road trip coming up for the Braves starting tomorrow in Denver. We'll see the Rockies followed by the Giants and then the Angels on that next road trip. 1 pitch. Chase and a miss by Laureano.
Swing and a miss for Laureano.
A clean top of the fourth.
Laureano 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in the
that
second.
means that tomorrow is a clean inning car wash celebration day at Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Stop by and get half off their best wash membership for the first month. Braves country is clean car country thanks to Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Laureano swings and misses at strike 3.
Strike 3.
Also some good news there when it comes to Tidal Wave. Let's say that you got something going on tomorrow and you're thinking, man, I'd like to really drop in for that dynamite deal, but I've got a lunch meeting or whatever it may be. It's going to block up most of your day. Well, if you can get in there today, the offer still stands from last night's ball game, as the Braves had a clean top of the fourth inning last night. So you can drop in there today and tomorrow as well. Tidal Wave Auto Spa. They'll get you squared away. Here's the pitch on the way to Adam Duvall. That'll miss low and outside. Where was your big league debut, by the way?
Minnesota. In the old Dome. 2008.
You were with the Rangers?
I was with the Angels.
Angels, okay. 1-0 to Adam Duvall. That'll be fouled off. Well, the next time you work, that'll be that road trip to Minnesota and Philadelphia. So you'll get to go back to and broadcast in the city you made your major league debut in.
That's right. That'll be a first. One thing I won't forget about that major league debut was opening day 2008. I think there was 3-4 inches of snow on the ground. And I heard a couple, I think it was the next year they revealed plans to build a non-dome stadium.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they doing?
1-1 to Duvall. Didn't go on a check swing. 2-1. Yeah, an open-air stadium. And I think there are some seasons that could be pretty problematic. 2 balls and a strike on Duvall. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Still Montas on the mound on the 2-1 pitch. He'll miss outside. So you remember that phone ringing, them telling you to get up in the bullpen?
I do. Yeah, it's at the old dome, the bullpens were on the field. Also remember the beautiful pink backpack I had to drag out there to the bullpen.
3-1 and a ground ball at the third base line and foul.
I think it was My Littlest Pet Shop or something like that. And, the company got wind that I was dragging this bag around because I was the only rookie on the team. And so they sent me a Littlest Pet Shop care package to Anaheim. So
They thought you were on board.
Oh, yeah. I had all these stuffed animals. And unfortunately, I didn't have any kids yet. But I would love them now if Littlest Pet Shop, if you're out there listening. Send them on to Truist Park. I'll take them now.
You never know who's out there listening. I hope we get some stuffed animals showing up at the ballpark. Care of Darren O'Day. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And the ball fouls one back. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Every Atlanta Braves game live on the air and streaming free on the app.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan.
Count runs full, and the 3-2 pitch on the way to Adam Duvall. Fouled back again. It's an 8-3 lead for the Brewers as we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Braves got a 3-run home run in the third inning from Austin Riley. The Brewers did a lot of damage in the first 3 innings of the ball game. They've hit 4 homers in this ball game. The 3-2 pitch. And there's ball 4 inside. 1 out, walk to Duvall. That'll bring Merrifield up to the plate, who's walked himself in this ball game. Homers for the Brewers came from Churio, Mitchell, Contreras, and Adames. 2 solo shots, 2 2-run shots. And like I mentioned for the Braves, 1 3-run shot by Riley. So that's how we've arrived at this 8-3 ball game that we're currently in. Montas at 84 pitches, 50 strikes.
Come on. Come on, Whitfield.
Merrifield takes a called strike.
Whitfield.
Merrifield is only at bat today, but squared off with Montas quite a bit. 8 for 20, hitting a cool 400 off him in his career. So likes what he sees out there.
Was that 2 games you said you've been to, George?
Merrifield takes the ball low and outside.
I'd love just to go to 1.
Four walks by Montas. Only giving up 2 base hits. Also,
do you actually, if I was to get tickets,
1-1 to Merrifield.
would they actually come in a ticket stub?
By the way, you
that
just
could
got
be put behind glass.
In radio audio, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm hearing this strange sound and
a little crackling sound.
Does anybody know?
Chad's back there wrestling with his microphone.
Can I get an actual ticket?
Look
ticket
back
stuff.
and he gives me, I don't know what's going on, and then he figured
like the old days,
like spikes on the.
I don't want a paper printout.
Crunching on the warning
I want
track.
something real official looking.
Here's a 1-2
if I can't go, I'd like to have a.
It'll swing and miss at strike 3.
A little wall hanging of
listeners have wondered about before as well.
A ticket.
JJ does a great job.
I see that
the microphones that we have in these ballparks. We have effects mics.
The August 27th, when the Nationals come to Atlanta, the tickets are going to be way super cheap.
You can hear a weight.
So I thought about just buying 2 for souvenirs.
By our microphone, which is down there around the backstop. Sometimes you hear an exchange between a player and an umpire. Ball outside of Jared Kelenic. And I love that effect. I love that you can hear players down there in the on-deck circle shedding a weight from a bat and walking across the warning track up there to the plate.
Digital.
Take you down onto the field with some of that sound.
I don't like that digital.
Check swing. In for a strike.
Yeah, you got to love hearing the sounds of the ballpark and, the roar and the din of the crowd when there's not much going on and the occasional expletive.
I love when that happens. that really takes you behind the curtain. 1-1 pitch, and Kelenic hits a fly ball to center.
Kelenic out to center.
Towards the Atlanta sky. And
underneath it,
catch in deep
caught.
Left center field
Out number 3.
Out number 3. I really like when we have a very audible home plate umpire belting out strikes.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of contact in this ball game. We headed the...
And it's...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Howdy, outlaw. Really, that? Well, that just kind of puts a damper on it.
The top of the fifth inning, it's an 8-3 lead for the Brewers. Northside Hospital for a healthier future together. Look to Northside. Parker Dunshee came on for the Braves in the third inning, got the final out that frame. And then in the fourth inning, hit a batter and then struck out the next three. Gaining some confidence that inning, especially with that sinker. Looked really good. Now he's facing Frelick, Bowers, and Ortiz here in the top of the fifth inning. Of course, we're going to keep a close eye on the scoreboard today. Mets are in Denver facing the Rockies. And the Braves woke up this morning in the third spot in the wild card race. And with a loss today and a win by the Mets, the Braves will be out of a postseason position for the first time this year. This ball low and inside to Frelick. Mets and Rockies start up in about an hour. They're in Denver.
I see we got
Braves
some
entered the
tickets
action
for
today with a
$22.
half-game lead over the Mets for the third wild card spot. There's a called strike. And looking ahead after this ball game, like we mentioned, 3 games in Colorado for the Braves, 4 in San Francisco.
There's a $21 ticket.
1-1 line drive foul into the screen down the right field line. Altogether, the Braves have lost 11 of their last 17, including 4 in a row. And they've been outscored 29-8 in those last 4 contests. And it hasn't gotten a whole lot better today, losing 8-3 as we're in the top of the fifth inning. 1-2 to Frelick. Missed low, 2-2.
Yeah, I think when you look at that schedule, the Braves have to make some hay on the West Coast against 3 teams that are, you know, various degrees of struggling. The Rockies being one of the worst teams in the league. You gotta get some wins out there.
2-2 going to miss inside. 3-2. Well, you and I were certainly hopeful for what this homestand could have been, seeing how the last road trip went. Saw some major swings for the Braves. That'll miss high. I go back to where the team was after the first 2 ball games in New York. And I think that the Friday and Saturday nights in New York, to that point, probably the lowest point of the season, wouldn't you say?
For sure. I totally agree.
And then the Braves were able to pick it up, won a couple of ball games in New York, and then went to Milwaukee. And while they dropped game 1, they came back and won game 2 and then also won game 3 and took that series against the first place team on the road. Jake Bowers takes the ball high. So they bring some momentum home with 4 ball games versus the Marlins and 3 against the Brewers again. And when they won the first 2 ball games versus the Marlins, I think a lot of us are thinking, okay, finally, here's that stride. They've finally gotten into that gear that we've been waiting to see ever since the first few weeks of the season. 1-0 misses low. And then all of a sudden, everything took a turn and another twist on that roller coaster ride that's turned into a 4-game losing streak.
Damn nerve jolt.
Yeah, when they won the 6 out of 7 games there, especially the way those wins came in New York and Milwaukee, you really felt like something had turned around.
Bowers slugs one deep to right field. That's into the chop house for a 2-run home run. And it's now 10-3 Milwaukee.
That looks like that cheapest ticket. This one has
And
Box
the
office
fifth of the
ticket
day
sales
by the
here.
Brewers.
Standing room only,
The five
row
homers have come from
SRO,
5 different players.
$16 a piece. Or there's there's 2 other rows for $21 a ticket. I want to know if I get a
So
ticket.
no one out. Base is empty. Here's Joey Ortiz. Ortiz takes the ball low.
Ben, last inning we're talking about the noise of Whit Merrifield's spikes on the warning track was really irritating me.
I'll leave that out like that.
That was called strike.
And that is a personal flaw of mine. If we pack the car for a family road trip and I get a mile down the road and there's anything rattling, squeaking,
I'll tell you what.
I'll pull right over and tear that thing apart.
Mav,
Lose your mind.
Mav's never going to do it himself.
To the point where my wife berates me.
I wonder if I
"Come
bought
on,
him a
it's
ticket.
So quiet.
If he'd
Just turn the
actually
radio
go.
up. I can't handle it. So, yeah, we spend a
And
lot
just
of time.
say,
in
"Hey,
these
man."
booths. We're finding things out about each other. That's
You're
one
always
of my
saying
faults.
that you're working so hard.
I'll make sure I'm not tapping anything anytime
You don't got the
soon.
money
It'll
to
be
do
followed by
this.
Ortiz. By the way, the 5
Here's
homers
a
the Braves
ticket.
have surrendered today
Go
matches
enjoy a
the
game.
season worst. Braves gave up 5 home runs on May 4th in a ball game at Los Angeles. They lost that game to the Dodgers 11-2, and they're trailing this one 10-3. 1-2 pitches inside, spun him out of the way in a 2-2 count. Thing about this one is, you've given up 5 home runs. We're only in the 5th inning.
Well, it's just, the likeliness that I'll ever be able to go to a Braves game or anything like
Here's
that.
the 2-2 pitch. Big
probably
bouncer
not
to
likely,
second base
not with
right
my
off the end of
health.
Ortiz's bat. Taken by Merrifield and his throw to first base
Traveling
in
long
time of the
distances,
out. One
unless
down.
I can get everything under control. I mean, I don't know if anybody can tell I have been
Bring
losing some weight.
Bring Eric Haas
I'm
up
back
to play.
in-
Folks, you need all the energy
I'm
you
back
can
into
get for game
clothes,
day.
and I haven't been
And
in,
at Georgia
been able
Power,
to
we
fit
know that
for a
energy
year.
costs are an important part of every budget. We're committed to providing
So,
tools and assistance to make a difference.
maybe,
you can save more energy for the
another-
game. Learn more at georgiapower.com.
Maybe sometime during the 25 season. My goal is to lose
1 down for Eric Haas.
145 pounds.
You'll receive a called strike. So all sorts of major league
Who knows,
firsts
maybe
today
I
for
could.
Parker Dunshee, making his major
But I
league
just want it
debut.
for
He's hit his
memorabilia.
first batter,
Be able to hang
his
up on
first
my
batter,
wall.
Giving up his first homer, and he has 3 strikeouts.
That's
That'll
going to be a
lobbed into
base hit
center
out
field
the
for Eric
center.
Haas. And a base hit for Haas. 1 out single, and back to the top of the order to Bryce Terang. Flip side of things for the Brewers, we mentioned that this is the wrap-up of a 2-city road trip. They started their road trip in Washington, dropped 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. And now they're looking like they're on their way to a sweep here in Atlanta. There's a called strike. So you want to talk about finishing a road trip on a strong note. That's what they're attempting to do here. And they'll head home for a lengthy homestand. So they'll see 3 teams come to Milwaukee. They'll have a bunch of momentum. A 1 on the ground ball to the right side. Merrifield has it, spins and throws to second. That's all they get. It was going left, gloved, spun back around, got a good throw down there to the bag to second. Arcia, who was covering for the second out, and fielder's choice now for Terang.
And the season is all about shifts in momentum. You know, this Brewers team has come in here and had their way with Braves pitching. In Milwaukee, at least in games 2 and 3, they looked like a completely different team. And, just can't seem to get them out here.
Jackson Churio takes the ball low.
Even that single by Haas, 2 at-bats ago. If he hits that hard, it's an out to Jared Kelenic in center field, but he broke his bat, so it dumped in for a hit. So everything's just coming up roses for them.
1-0 in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. And going back to that point you and I were discussing earlier, this is the 3rd game of this series. There have been just 2 1-2-3 innings for Braves pitchers the entire series.
Wow, I'll tell you what,
so just
the
to
Philadelphia
your point,
Phillies
base hit,
tickets
base
are
hit, base hit,
cheap.
walks mixed in there as well.
They're $8.
And every inning they're base runners. And that's just a full court press on your pitching staff.
They're $8.
2-0, big swing and a miss, 2-1.
Boy. Oh, there's one for 7. You know what? I'm going to have to get my buddy He needs
Ball inside. 3 balls and a
he
strike.
needs a good restful thing, something fun. And I know he'd love.
So this is the 24th
What do you think?
inning
You
of
think,
the series.
Lane?
And they've had at least one base
Congrats.
runner in 22
What-
of
okay,
the
what-
24.
what do we-
That's
congrats.
rough. This is a deep shot to right field. That's going to take flight back to the chop
Oh, you're
house.
talking about,
That's
yeah.
out of the ballpark.
I was just gonna say
Two-run
for
home run by
$8,
Jackson Churio, his
I
second
could get
home run
him
of
and
the
all,
ball game.
both of his daughters.
And the
to take-
6th homer of the game for the Brewers. That's the most homers the Braves have surrendered in a ball game all year.
Well, another. I knew it. I told CeeLo they weren't done at 8. Here we are at 12.
Having that kind of juice at 6 foot 200.
Can you believe the amount of runs they have put on
Out to right,
against
about
us?
10 rows back in the chop
Holy
house.
crap! I think this is the worst we've been beat up
This is
all
going to be a
season.
guy that you're going to become more and more familiar with. He's making some noise here in this series in Atlanta, but I think league-wide, this guy's going to be one of the best players of the next decade.
Yeah, I just looked at SeatGeek.
12 to 3.
George.
As we're in the top of the 5th inning.
SeatGeek is at $7 and $8
Garrett Mitchell takes
$7
the
and
ball
$8, but I don't know. It says 1 to 3 tickets. Does that mean that that's all that's left? Or I could get 1 to
Mitchell
3
swings and
tickets.
misses 1-1. Two-homer inning for the Brewers. 1-1, a strike. 1-2. Braves in the bottom of the 5th. They'll have Riley, Ozuna, and Olsen coming up. Dungy's 1-2 off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Parker trying to get one more good pitch over, get through this inning. And the 2-2 pitch almost hit him, spun him out of there. So it's 12
pitch.
runs on 12 hits for the Brewers.
Or a 3-2
Half
count,
of their
I
hits
should
have been
say.
home runs. 3 runs on 2 hits for the Braves. Dungy's 3-2, low and inside, ball 4.
I just can't believe how
This inning.
we
And
played
now
this
William
series.
Contreras will come to the plate. He's the 8th Brewer to the plate here at the top of the 5th inning. You got any good jokes?
I was going to talk about Dungy. Poor guy. I don't see anybody getting up in the Braves bullpen. He's at 48 pitches. In this inning, he has looked tired.
Yeah.
You know, he probably didn't sleep much last night. We've already talked about the weather tonight or today here at the park being warm, and these clouds just don't hang around long enough for any shade.
Snit told us before the game he stretched out to 60 pitches, but thinking about those conditions, stretched out to 60 maybe for a night game.
Yeah.
William Contreras takes a ball low.
We talked about this before as well. If you see balls flying over the fence, sometimes you do get a little scared if they're coming back into that strike zone. You've seen a couple walks this inning.
Contreras hammers one to deep right center field. That's heading back to the wall, and that is off the wall on the fly. Coming around third base is Garrett Mitchell. Here's the throw from the cutoff man. That's late. Run comes across and scores. It's an RBI double by William Contreras, and it's 13-3 Brewers.
Well, we're looking for a silver lining. This is a bit of a joke. These outfielders won't have to do their sprints after the game. They're getting plenty of running in.
Yes, they are. This time one stays in the ballpark. Here's Willie Adames, 9th Brewer to the plate here in the top of the 5th inning. Contreras dancing at second. And Adames hits one a mile high to shallow center. With Merrifield, Orlando Arcia both there. This will be
That should do it for the top of the 5th.
And mercifully, there is out number 3.
Excuse me,
9
we're
men
late.
come to the plate
We're
for the
losing
Brewers.
13-3.
They score 5 times.
Holy
they
poops.
hit 2 homers. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, 13-3 Milwaukee.
That's crazy.
Robert Half.
Mav must be bored at work. This is the most he's texted me in the last week. Yeah, they got him up in a new quarry. Again. I think I'm going to do that, Lane. I think I'm going to jump on doing that. I got a couple weeks. Got at least 14 days before the game. I think you'd probably rather go to a Phillies game. I don't know whether to surprise him with it or say something to him ahead of time. I'd love to get, that's something I think he would really enjoy. And if I got a ticket for each of his kids, that's something they could do together. I don't know how well the girls like baseball, though. Because I will have my YouTube payout by then. That's why I know I can buy the tickets. And if he goes down to Truist Park, then I could get him to go into the Battery and pick up the 2 tomahawks and 2 fingers that I want to give away. Kill all them birds with 1 stone. No, I think he'd be able to. Said it, you mean tell him? Foul ball. Well, I mean, I would definitely hint around to him, asking him, hey, what are you doing? But it's kind of early to, because he always tells me, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of the spur of the moment kind of guy.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sorry about the sound, guys.
Montas, 4 innings, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 hits, 4 walks.
I think so, Jared. Yeah, the Brewers are no joke. They're a good team.
Riley smokes 1 to third, but on the other end, Andrew stereo. He throws over, throws low, but able to dig it out.
In all reality, the Braves are stacked with talent, and they've come in here and they've embarrassed us.
From third base to shortstop.
I mean, they have simply embarrassed us.
We'll give him the rest of the day off.
Figueroa, the big right-hander, is 2-pitch pitcher.
Well, thank you, Lane. Yeah.
7-mile-an-hour sinker and a
this payout I think it'll be around $180-some.
Ozuna stings 1 foul down the left field line. Nothing in 1 on him.
Well, then minus taxes anyways.
Marcel's been on twice. A single, also reached on an error. 1 to Ozuna. That'll be fouled back.
I think
Figueroa is one of the Brewers' late inning guys.
My streams and the videos I posted up in the last
I'm sure these Braves hitters were too excited
14
to see
days
him trotting out of the bullpen.
Have already produced
in a game like this. Sometimes you'll get to face the back end of
70
that
summer.
Instead, you get a 97, 98-mile-an-hour sinker.
I won't get credit for those until
by 10
the following
runs
month.
gets even tougher. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ozuna takes the ball low and outside.
Well, they wouldn't get paid out until a month to 2 months down the road.
A little breeze blowing in, but not enough to really cool things down. Been a very hot day here in Atlanta.
True.
Temperature in the low 90s.
True, we don't got all of our starters.
Some passing
But we're
clouds,
still
rain down,
we're
brilliant
still
sunshine
talent
all over the
stacked.
ballpark.
I mean,
1-2 to Ozuna. Low and outside, even the
we
count.
might not
2-2.
have as talented of a team on the field. But these are all professional players, so they got talent in their own rights.
Figueroa brings it. Ozuna takes the ball low and outside. Certainly a big tip of the cap to the fans who are here today. You got a hot day. Just hadn't been the Braves' day. Trailing by 10 runs. But they're here supporting their team.
I'd be on the
They're
weekend.
enjoying a day at the ballpark regardless of the
I wouldn't
score.
give
Always
him
good to have a
tickets
good
for
day at the
anything other than a
ballpark.
weekend game.
Here's ball low and outside. 1 out walk. I'll take a bad day at the ballpark over a good day at the office 5 days a week.
Well, the best part about this job is that the ballpark is our office, right?
That's right. Never take that for granted.
Yeah, actually,
good to be at
you
the
might be
yard.
right. Yeah, thinking about
2
that,
weeks
I
ago, we
guess
faced
I
Frankie
think that
Montas
Philly game,
as a Cincinnati Red in this building.
that Philly game was
He gave up
actually
10 hits.
probably a Thursday.
Today he gave up 2.
Yes,
And
that's a
10-run
Thursday
lead
game.
Won't even factor into the decision.
So that'll be out of the
It'll be
question.
fouled back by Olsen.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised he didn't come out for the 5th to try to get that victory, but the hot weather might have kept him on that bench.
I was about to say, you think that's more for the heat than anything? One pitch count. I mean,
just managing.
I think a Sunday game would be the best
Well,
for him, and it
sometimes
looks
we look
like
at pitch count as a
national
universal
tickets
number. It's
for
not that.
Sunday are going.
I mean,
for,
85
they're
pitches
going
on a
for
day like
$7 a
today
ticket too.
can be far more taxing to a body than 110 pitches for a Friday night. Well, 1 to Olsen, turned on, sent foul. 0-2. That probably caught up to him.
Yeah, this Brewers pitching staff is, we've talked a lot about them and what they're going to look like in the postseason. I'm curious if that change in Montas was something the Brewers saw in his arsenal that they could, make more efficient.
Olsen strikes out, swinging and missing at a slider. 2 down here in the 5th inning.
There's something to be said. Front offices will target pitchers on other teams that, they have some characteristic that really sticks out, a spin rate or a swing and miss rate or something. And you bring them over, you say, hey, throw this pitch more, throw this pitch less. Montas' fastball top of the zone today was excellent. That's where a lot of his strikeouts came from.
Marcia with a ground ball out to second base. Bryce Terang wraps that in leather. He'll throw to first base, and there's out number 3. So a 1-out walk is all the Braves get in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Braves have stranded 5 through 5. We head to the top of the...
At Bet365.
There you have it. We're heading to the top of the 6th. The Milwaukee Brewers leading 13-3. Ouch, man. That's just unreal. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you stopping in. Hey, if you could, please hit that thumbs up for us. That thumbs up, baby. Yeah, well, the only thing that he would work on a weekend is a possible Saturday. And that's usually not likely. I think he's only, even this season of being back at the quarries, in the last 6 months, I think 2 times out of the 6 months he's worked on a Saturday where he went in for a few hours. So even if he did work on a Saturday, it'd only be a couple hours. But he won't go to a game on a Saturday, I'm sure, because he goes over to his buddy Wesley's, the guy from Doghouse Grub that he's pushed for you guys to go check out. He goes over there every Saturday for food and whatever else, whatever it is they do. They do get-togethers with their buddies. I just think it'd be a good relief for him. He's told me that he's kind of burned out. You know, get him a nice relaxing day. Because I tell you, I love my brother. I love my buddy. I really do. Let him get that emotional release for something that he loves, and he absolutely loves Braves baseball. So, what did Kenneth say? I missed it. What did he say? He's already had his year celebration. Oh, no, that might be coming up. Yeah, that might be coming up, huh? I mean, his channel's been around since September something. So it would have to be a game before that. Audio, gotcha.
Home plate umpire Ryan Wills decides to get a tight strike zone in a 13-3 game. I guess he's not hot back there. That was absolutely strike 3.
2 fouled off.
I'd like to say thank you for On the Go with CeeLo for stopping in earlier.
Or those umpire scorecards and reports.
Appreciate that. And hey, Larry from the Dixon Way over there, buddy. Sorry about that. I did not see that you were typing out something
on his game
when I ended the stream. I didn't see it, my friend. I did not mean to end the stream when you were trying to make a point. I do apologize about that, my friend. And I do appreciate you stopping in and throwing that light in there for me. I really do.
That was bolted out there.
I know you're streaming today's game, so I really hope you have a good game.
Quickly.
And I'm going to try to make it over there before you close out the stream and get you
these umpires have just become
a little
too
thumbs
big of a
up
part of the game the last 2 days. Not that it matters tonight, but Walsh's game last night.
Matter of fact,
matter. The 3 biggest calls of his
we're
game.
We're losing 13-3, so why not do it now?
And what was it, 20 missed calls altogether in the game? That'll be swung on a miss by Bowers, 0-1. Well, some shade covers the ballpark. Pitch on the way to Jake Bowers. That's in for a called strike. 0-2 on him. Luke Jackson wearing number 22. Previous stint with the Braves was wearing 77. Obviously, that's taken by Joe Jimenez. Here's the 0-2 on the way to Bowers. That'll miss low and inside, but he wanted to go with 22 as a tip of the cap to Nick Markakis, didn't he?
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you just now hearing that? Yeah.
Yeah, those are
2 for Nick.
2 good buddies of mine.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't talk to him about that.
It makes sense you'd not think about what number he's wearing.
I did talk to Luke's wife this morning at preschool drop-off.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I got to see Corinne. The women behind the men sometimes make the men.
1-2 misses low, 2-2.
And let me tell you, that is certainly the case with Luke Jackson. Luke never really grew up like the rest of us, so...
If you're ranking your most unique and colorful teammates of all time, are you on your Mount Rushmore for that list?
Absolutely.
Is 2-2 to Bowers. Outside 3-2. And to me, that's what makes him a welcome addition.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not just a good pitcher, as evidenced by how he's been pitching lately, but he's a great guy to have in the bullpen. He's always got something interesting to talk about. Hilarious, keeps it loose. Just one of my favorite bullpen teammates I've ever had.
3-2, and he gets Bowers to chase. Got a strikeout there, Bowers. One down here in the 6th inning. Pretty good backdoor slider there.
One of Luke's favorite things to talk about is his expansion team. When the MLB expands, he's going to have a team in Key West. They're going to be called the Key West Conks, and the only kind of players he wants are grinders.
Okay.
The tough guys.
Joey Ortiz takes a called strike.
Not the flashy guys. He said the requirement for being a hitter in his lineup is you cannot use batting gloves.
I like that.
So, it's a team full of no BGs guys.
I think they'd kill it in free agency.
That'll be a foul ball.
Team in Key West. 0-1 fouled off. Up into the third deck down the right field line.
Another business idea he has. He wanted to, on a day like today where it's super hot and sunny, he wanted to come up with an idea of having a blimp up in the sky that could provide temporary shade for the baseball game.
There's the ball low and inside. Right now, that sounds like a great idea.
It does. I mean, Matt, you can make a killing today.
a permanent shade blimp, basically.
Yep. And he was hot on it for a whole season, just trying to figure out how he could make it happen. And today, honestly, it'd be great. These fans wouldn't all be huddled in the back rows hiding under the shade.
There's a 1-2 pitch. And a bouncer out towards third and foul. I'd love to know about what altitude that would need to sit at. I mean, the good news is it's not going to have to move a whole lot. It's just got to move with the same pattern as the sun.
Yep.
So what's the altitude? What's the speed? How big? What's the circumference of the blimp? What does that need to be?
Yeah,
it's really just one math problem. Figure that out and then just send it up there.
I don't think he's figured that out. I don't think he's figured out how to tie his shoes yet, but I'm sure he's working on it.
1-2 low and outside. Can you imagine a team coming out and saying, okay, we're actually going to build a brand new ballpark. We've been in our ballpark for several years, going to build a brand new ballpark. It's not going to have a retractable roof, but we are going to have a permanent blimp that provides shade at all times.
Oh, hey, thank you so much for those 2 subscribes. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's got, I mean, that would be
I'll get that
cost
updated.
savings. And that's a good example of who this guy is that's pitching.
We are
for the
now
Brewers right
7.
Just
7 subs from that 1,100 goal.
Wish we had a blimp to block out the scoreboard right now. It's 13-3 Brewers as we're in the top of the 6th inning. 2-2 pitch. Fastball just missed according to Ryan Wills.
It's he flinched on it. He wanted to call it a strike as well.
Sal Frelick, the runner at first base, now being held on the 3-2 pitch. Shot out towards short and a base hit into center field. Joey Ortiz just delivered the 15th base hit of the ball game for the Brewers. They had 16 hits in game 1. They had another 16 hits last night, and they got 15 right now. Aren't you glad we got that Truist play of the game out of the way about 4 innings ago? I don't know which direction we'd have gone. Here's Eric Haas. Haas with a ground ball fouled on the third base line. Riley takes it and lobs it into the Brewers dugout.
Man, that was a heck of a fielder's choice.
Best one I've seen today.
Yeah, that's true.
Luke Jackson, 21 pitches, took over here in the top of the 6th inning. This is the 4th batter he's faced. Eric Haas batting 9th in their order, but he's got 2 hits. That's blown by him. 0-2 on him.
Ben, we've talked a lot about major league debuts today with Parker Dunshee obviously getting his first action here in MLB. I'm curious about your debut.
First major league broadcast?
Yeah, were you nervous?
Until it was time to go on the air, yeah.
Okay.
But once they said you're in, it's just kind of like what the players say is it just kicks in what you're used to doing. Out of his hand outside. I'll tell you what was exciting, though, is the very first game I ever broadcasted. It was April 29th, 2011. So we were at Turner Field. The Cardinals were in town. And I knew that I was going to be doing the middle innings of the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't starting the game. I was doing 4, 5, and 6. There's a fly ball to center. Coming in now is Eli White. No make the catch. He came into the ball game here at the start of this inning. And 2 down. So I was excited to see who my first batter in the big leagues was going to be.
Yeah.
And when the top of the third inning came to an end, the guy on deck was Albert Pujols.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, well, this is going to be cool. The first batter I'm ever going to call in the big leagues.
All right, well, thank you. Stop it in there, Robert.
And then I sit down, and the first batter I called was Albert Pujols. I'm pretty sure he got a base hit to left field. And that's what I really remember. That and Nate McLouth hit a homer. I think that's the first big league homer I ever called. Was a Nate McLouth home run. Bouncer to second base. Merrifield's got it. Lobs to first, and there's out number 3. And finally, a 0 up on the board for just the second time in this ball game on the Brewers side of the ledger. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
All right, with that said, I'll be right back myself.
You may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Take your business further with the smart and flexible American Express Business Gold Card. You can earn 4 times points on your top 2 eligible spending categories every month, like transit, U.S. restaurants, and gas stations. That's the powerful backing of American Express. 4 times points on up to $150,000 in purchases per year. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/businessgoldcard.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half. Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com.
Barry.
Digging, grading, tilling, and mowing. All in a day's work with Yanmar, the tractor that works as hard as you do. Discover new possibilities at yanmartractor.com.
You want a good start to the day? How about the Braves, coffee, and the locker room? Home team here, 6 to 10 on the Fan 680 and the 680 The Fan app.
Rolling into the bottom of the 6th inning here. Braves still trailing 13-3. Familiar face trots out from left field bullpen. Bryce Lunchbox Wilson was a Brave from 2018 to 2021. Now a Brewer, succeeding, flourishing.
And pitching, Travis d'Arnaud. That'll miss inside.
We saw Bryce twice in that series up in Milwaukee. 2 innings once, 1 inning at the end of game 1. Looks like he's found a home here in Milwaukee. Sometimes starter, sometimes reliever.
There's 1-0 pitch. Fly ball out to left field. Jackson Cheerio started back, now comes in. Under it, makes the catch for the first out here in the 6th inning. Yeah, Bryce, an outstanding athlete in high school. He was a standout football player. Played on both sides of the ball. He's had a good major league career, spending time with the Braves, the Pirates, and the Brewers. Ramon Laureano takes a ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. When you were playing, were you pretty particular about your uniform, how it fit, etc., or did you really not even care?
In some ways, yes.
1-0 pitch swung on a miss by Laureano. 1 ball, 1 strike.
When I first came up, rookies were discouraged from getting their, uniforms tailored. So I just got off the rack stuff, and those were the days of the Manny Ramirez baggy pants.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that era.
Yeah.
So they all fit loose, and that's what everybody wore, that style.
1-1 to Laureano. That'll be fouled back. I got one for you. This day in 1976, White Sox went through some very interesting uniform phases. They had a doubleheader this day in 1976 against the Royals. 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball out into the gap in right center field, and that's down for a base hit. Laureano hits the bag at first base, heads for second, now throws on the brakes halfway between first and second.
Laureano with a 1-out single.
1-out single. In that doubleheader, in the first game of the doubleheader, this day in 76, the White Sox took the field in navy blue Bermuda shorts. Can you imagine playing a major league game in shorts?
No.
Wow.
And they've been ridiculed ever since, rightly so.
Whoever thought of that probably got fired.
There's a soft flare as he breaks his bat out to third. Andrew Monasterio under it. And Adam Duvall is out number 2 here in the inning.
But to finish your question, in the end of my career, I did start getting my uniform tailored because when I came set on the pitcher's mound, I held my glove pretty high. And a standard length sleeve would roll halfway up my bicep, and you'd be seeing my armpit hair hanging out. So I said, hey, can I get a couple inches added to my sleeves? So I had longer sleeves than the average guy.
But Merrifield fouls one back. Did you get it on just the one arm or both arms?
Come on. Both.
I mean, how tailored was it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get these uniforms now any which way you want them. And a lot of guys are very particular about them. Remember Jorge Cantu?
Yeah.
He used to get his sleeves tailored in so his biceps looked bigger.
I just have it popping right in the right place.
Yeah. He was very particular about that.
Oh, one pitch fouled back.
Yeah, I remember Spencer Strider's rookie year. He went through like 3 or 4 iterations of pants until you get them just right. And now, he's famous for his tight pants and
got the quads.
Showing off the quadzillas.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get it right.
0-2 to Merrifield. Check swing. Didn't go. 1-2. And he finally figured it out. Got the right pattern.
Yeah. It took him a while. And now that's the style that a lot of the young guys coming up wear. The tight pants with the high tops. Some guys speculating that came from Vanderbilt in college.
All right, that'll be 2-2 count.
1-2
Bottom of 6, 2 outs, runner on first.
But if you look around, there's a lot of guys really tight pants and high tops, and that's the style. It's all cyclical. I'm sure someday baggy pants will be in vogue again.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch, high in the air towards foul ground, and out of play. Well, I think about Walker Buehler.
Yep.
There have been starts where I swear he was wearing white yoga pants out on the mound.
And where did he go to college?
Vanderbilt.
Yep.
13-3 Brewers. As we're in the bottom.
That'll be a base hit out to the left corner.
And the 2-2 to Merrifield.
He's going to run for 2.
Field line. That's a base hit. That's going to roll all the way into the corner. Coming around second base, heading for third base. Laureano, he'll hold there.
I don't know why Laureano didn't go for.
Put runners at second and third and back to the top of the order.
Oh, we're going to have runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Eli White climbs in. He's got my vote for best walk-up music on the team.
That's a good one.
Stepping in there to some Led Zeppelin. See if he can drive in a couple of runs. Just came into the ball game at the top of the inning as a defensive replacement for Jared
That's
Kelenic.
going to be out number 3.
Eli White hits a high fly ball to left. Jackson Churio over to his right. And right at the edge of the warning track, backpedals, makes the catch on the track. And that is out number 3. And that ends the bottom of the 6th inning. Braves leave a couple of men in scoring position. We've completed 6. We head to the 7th inning, 13-3 Brewers.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Iowa. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Terms and conditions apply.
Lowe's knows the brands that won't let you down on the job. That's why we carry all the top pro brands, like exclusive A.O. Smith hot water heaters, the largest in-store selection of DeWalt power tools and accessories of any national retailer, and the largest in-store retail selection of Klein tools nationwide. The products you're loyal to are all here in the quantities you need. Lowe's knows top brands. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Christy Pierce-Rampone here, former member of the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team, 3-time gold medalist, and 2-time World Cup champion. I'm mom to 2 teenage girls and a
well, I guess somebody decided that they wanted to take that sub back.
That's why we use Amazon
sorry
Prime.
that you
when our favorite
changed your
leash
mind
broke,
about
I went right to
subscribing to the
Prime, and with 1 click, I ordered it again. Not to mention all the
Let
great
me get
streaming
that
shows
fixed.
I watch with family. From streaming to
Thank
shopping,
you anyways.
it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into. Whatever you're into, it's on Prime.
It's 4 a.m. and you're sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested.
If you love her that much, love her
All
enough
right,
to
so
make
we
sure
are
she's buckled in
eight.
the right car seat.
8 subs and counting away from that 1,100 goal.
Making our way into the top of the 7th inning. It is a 13-3 lead for the Brewers. Braves could not go deep in the 6th inning. That was the Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning. But if the Braves had hit a homer there in the 6th inning, Matthew Hunt and Hampton, Georgia would have been the winner of $2,650. And if you'd like to enter your chance to win at least $1,000 from the Georgia Lottery, visit 680thefan.com/GA Lottery. Georgia Lottery. Well, today could have been the day. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Maybe tomorrow will when we go to Denver and see the Rockies. Jackson Churio takes a called strike. Churio is 2 for 3 with 2 homers. This isn't going to leave the ballpark, but this is trouble. Little tapper out there to second base. Glove toss by Merrifield, not in time. And a base hit for Jackson Churio. That's his 3rd base hit of the ball game. 4th time he's been on base. He was also hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning. And he is aboard. Folks, if bold flavor is something you're after, grab a bottle or so of the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce. Flavor favors the bold. Alongside Darren O'Day, Ben Ingram here with you. Garrett Mitchell takes a strike on the outside corner. Brewers came out throwing haymakers in this one. 3 runs in the 1st, 3 runs in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd, 5 runs in the 5th. There's a ball outside to Mitchell. Braves scored 3 times in the 3rd. That's been it. And trailing 13-3. They've allowed 16 hits for the 3rd consecutive game. One to Mitchell. A little bit low and outside.
Here. Hey. Hey. Come here. Hi.
Still Luke Jackson on the mound for the Braves.
Hi, I'm Hazel.
And the 2-1.
I love you too.
High and outside. The most hits this season for the Brewers is 23, believe it or not. They had 23 hits in a victory over the White Sox on May 31st. I'd like to know if that's the franchise record. Here's a 3-1. That'll miss outside. So it's a walk. So the inning starts with a single by Churio and a walk to Mitchell.
One good thing about that is that you don't have to worry about them running with the score of the game. You know, they're winning by 10. Stealing bases here would be considered, a flagrant offense of the unwritten rules of baseball.
Well, this is the last time the Braves will see the Brewers in the regular season. Let me ask you this. Let's say they did commit that offense. Started running right here. They're up 10 runs. Last time you're going to see these guys, what kind of payback, if at any, would the Braves retaliate with? There's a called strike. Or not just the Braves, any major league team.
Yeah, I think the only option you have is, hitting a guy right between the numbers. And, you wouldn't do that in a hypothetical playoff matchup because you just can't give up base runners in the playoffs.
Contreras takes the ball low and in.
So, it's only the 7th inning right now. He's still got 2 more chances. So I don't think it's going to happen. But if it did, that's what I imagine the retaliation would be.
And I don't expect that to happen. I don't think this Brewers team would do that. I don't think that's what we're going to have by any means. Doesn't seem to be any bad blood at all between these two teams. Just hypothetical, 2 random teams get a situation like this. A team starts running. I'd be curious to see what a team would do to retaliate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd be one right in the ribs.
1-1 to Contreras, in for a called strike. How many times in your career were you requested to throw at a player?
I was never told to. I did do it and actually enjoyed it, strangely.
There's a 1-2 that was low and inside.
I recall one time I was in the bullpen coming into a game at the end of a 3-game series, and they'd hit, 6 or 7 of our guys, and none of our pitchers had done it. And I'm in the tight game, and I got to hit somebody. And I had my bullpen catcher stand in a left-handed batter's box so I could practice hitting guys.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Time called.
It was actually Bryce Harper. I mean, I'll come out and say it when he was a Nat.
Yeah.
We were in a tight, they had kept hitting Machado, and they wouldn't stop. And none of the guys coming before me would hit him, and I was closing games at the time in 2015 and said, all right, I got to hit him.
And that was your decision?
Yeah.
There's the 2-2 on the way to William Contreras. Little low, 3-2.
Yeah, Buck Showalter, who was my manager at the time, would never say, hey, you got to hit this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he would never tell anybody, but when you came in, he would give you a little pat on the butt and say, good job. Because he wanted you to do it, but he would never tell you to do it.
Right. 3-2 to Contreras, and that's ball 4. And that'll load the bases. Bases loaded, no one out. Brewers leading 13-3.
So Bryce Harper walks into the game. We got a 1-run lead. 9th inning. And I try to hit him, and he knows it's coming because they've hit Machado so many times. So he ducks out of the way and grounds out to second. I was happy and upset at the same time.
Fouled off by Monasterio.
Happy because I got a hitter out, a really good hitter out.
Right.
But upset because I didn't fulfill that obligation to hit him. And then there was actually some conflict after the game between the pitchers and the hitters. Why don't you protect us?
And that happened in the clubhouse?
Yep.
Monasterio swings and misses.
So, you know, the hitters get tired of getting hit, and it's always the best players that get hit, right? Manny Machado was our best player at the time, and he was always getting hit and really getting tired of it, as you would expect. And, yeah, it caused some conflict in the locker room.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Monasterio takes one high, 1-2. So it's almost like
there was anybody out there?
Chat's
Chat's gotten a little quiet.
If a batter feels like they're coming at him and he's getting dinged up out there, the pitchers know somebody's got to step up on our side of the ledger and even things up. 1-2 pitch on the way to Monasterio, and that'll miss inside, 2-2.
And I would generally that's a a starting pitcher's job, or if you get a closer or 8th inning guy in there in a close game, it's just not the time to be giving up free base runners.
Right.
Hit by pitches happen, but intentful hit by pitches can't happen in close games like that.
2-2 pitch low and in. Yeah, the outcome of the game is far too important to blow it just because you feel like there's a score to even up. Right now, Raisel Iglesias is loosening up in the Braves bullpen. It's 13-3 Brewers as we're in the top of the 7th inning. Bases loaded, no one out for Andrew Monasterio. He'll foul one back. Took a pretty good hack there.
3-2 count with bases loaded.
Monasterio took over at third base an inning ago. And that moved Joey Ortiz to shortstop. And Willie Adames out of the ball game. Adames had another good ball game as he was 2 for 4 with a double and a homer. Ground ball foul over by the Brewers dugout.
Hey, welcome in. I appreciate you guys stopping in.
I never thought I'd see
you haven't done so yet.
Warming
Please
up
be
in
sure
the
to
7th
hit
inning
that
of a 13-3
like
game,
and
but
subscribe button.
That's where the Braves bullpen is at. They've covered 9 2/3 the last 2 nights because of 2 short starts, and just a lot of tired arms down there.
3-2 from Luke. Just tie ball 4. That'll walk in a run. Churio will score. 14-3 Brewers.
Here comes Snit.
It's now 3 straight walks by Luke Jackson. He's out of fuel. And here comes Brian Snitker. And before Snit makes this move, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Atlanta Braves radio network.
Never miss a pitch of the Braves.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan and streaming.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should.
That'd be cool, Kenneth.
Well, top of the seventh, and the Brewers' offensive onslaught continues. They're leading the Braves 14-3. Luke Jackson just didn't have it today. Seventh inning went single and 3 walks in a row. So Brian Snitker has gone to the Braves bullpen and called in his closer, Raisel Iglesias. Has yet to pitch in the month of August, so he's got the freshest arm down there. Going to see if he can come in here and stop this bleeding and likely get Luke Williams warmed up here.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get through. 14-3 Brewers. There's Sal Freely. First pitch from Raisel misses low. This inning has gone single, walk, and a run is scored. Only been 2 innings where the Brewers have not scored at least 1 run. Frelick fouls one back. Iglesias, 4th pitcher used by Brian Snitker in the ball game.
Swing and a miss.
They've got Monasterio at first, Contreras at second, Mitchell at third, and a 1-1 pitch swung on miss.
That'll be 1 and 2 count.
To go up and away with a good
Bases
changeup.
are juiced.
It's got to be the most lopsided game Iglesias has pitched in a long time. He's got to get it some
Fly
work
ball
in.
to
As I said,
shallow.
He hasn't pitched in August.
That'll be out number 1.
In the air to shallow
Runners
center.
will
Garcia
hold.
Drifting backpedaling, makes the catch. Runners hold. And 1 down here in the 7th inning. It might feel like a spring training appearance.
Yeah.
You know, you've mentioned before how difficult it can be in spring training to get the juices flowing because you're a back into the bullpen guy, but you're trying to get your work in a spring training game, and score doesn't matter, inning doesn't matter, and you're trying to find a way to fire yourself up and get through the outing, get your work in.
Yeah, there's no shortage of adrenaline in close games in the major leagues, but when you get in one like this, you got to find a way to personally challenge yourself to be your best.
Jake Bowers takes ball inside.
And, you know, if you let your mental guard down, you're not going to pitch to the best of your ability. So before
That's
game
going to be a
like
high
this,
fly ball out to
really
right
get myself
field.
Fired up.
Caught.
1-0, socked high in the air to right field. Ramon
Runners
Laureano
will hold.
coming in. Remember, he's got a big arm. Makes the catch, tagging at third, and now holding is Garrett Mitchell. That was a good idea. So 2 down after the fly out to right field. And it's up to Joey Ortiz. Coming up, it'll be the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by the Warrior Alliance, going to bat for veterans and their families by helping them navigate success after military service. To learn more, go to thewarrioralliance.org. We might need an inning out of you to get through this ball game.
Put me in, Coach. I could throw 2.
You're probably feeling pretty fresh.
Yeah, why not? I throw BP to 6-year-olds all the time.
Joey Ortiz takes the ball low and outside. I mean, it's not like you retired 10 years ago.
No.
I think you could go out there and get an out.
I never got to throw a knuckleball in the major leagues, and I would love to do that. Just have one more outing to be able to do that.
Ortiz takes a called strike.
You know, I was a sidearm submarine pitcher, and that was my goal, is to hit every gimmick on the way out of getting major league batters out.
1-1 to Joey Ortiz. Fouled back, 1-2. So I'm guessing you threw a bunch in bullpens and just toyed around with a knuckleball here and there.
I did. Yeah, I threw it a lot in like pregame catch, you know, during batting practice. Pitchers go down the outfield line and get their arms, they're throwing in, and I would throw knuckleballs the first 10 throws.
1-2, tipped into the mid for strike 3. So Iglesias strikes
That'll
out.
do it for the middle of the center.
In the top of the
That'll
7th
do it for
inning.
the top
Another
of the
run for the Brewers. They leave
We're
the
gonna head
bases
to
loaded, but it
the
doesn't matter to them.
7th
They're
inning
leading
stretch.
14-3 into the bottom of the 7th.
Swing into action this baseball season with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app and the official partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Lowe's no.
Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. I'm not eating anything, Lane. Trying to get my flavor vape working.
Austin Riley leads off with the Braves here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh, Edie.
Pass along. It has been a really rough day for the Braves. Trailing
I'm fasting
14-3 into the bottom of the 7th inning. And the only source of offense in the ball game, Austin Riley with a 3-run homer back in the 7th inning, or the 3rd inning, I should say. We're in the 7th inning now. Even my brain's starting to melt. There's a called strike on Riley. What was left of it to begin with? 0-1 on Riley. And Austin sends one foul. The Braves know that big wins come from bold plays. That's why the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce. Flavor favors the bold. 0-2 to Riley. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bryce Wilson brings his 1-2 pitch. That'll miss outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Intermittent. Yeah.
Two, a swing and a miss by Riley. Bryce Wilson struck him out with a cutter. And he elevated one down here in the 7th inning. I think my favorite point that you've made in this ball game, Darren, is sometimes it's good to get on the flight and head out of here. Change of scenery, get on the road. Sometimes that's what a team needs. And clearly what's been happening here the last few days has not been good for the ball club. And maybe a change of scenery will turn some things around a little bit.
Yeah, you want to get as far away from this as you can.
Ozuna with a fly ball to deep left field. That's soaring back to the wall, and Marcell Ozuna sends one.
Big Bear with his 33rd home run of the year. 440 feet. 440, baby. That means it stands. Woo! Oh yeah, I can't really celebrate too much. Boy, that went to the upper deck.
This behind us, but you hit a ball like that, you're going to be feeling good going to Colorado.
Ozuna's 33rd home run of the season.
Matt Olson takes a called strike.
Yeah, I'm not going on the trip.
Hey, Tony Richmond, how you doing?
As we discussed, we got a family vacation coming up, but I might go on the trip just to see his batting practice at Coors Field.
0-1 to Matt Olson. Just a little bit too tall. Yeah, I look forward to that, seeing Marcell for 3 ball games at altitude in Denver. 14-4 our score. Olson swings and misses 1-2. Ozuna in this ball game has reached on an error, a single, a walk, and that homer. Olson awaits the 1-2 pitch. Matt pops one up, third base side, foul ground. Sprinting that way, Monasterio to the railing. He's out of room.
Well, I see.
Comes on the back of the netting and onto the roof of the Brewers dugout. Speaking of that next road trip, and I'll bring this up time to time, we always see so many Braves fans anytime we're on the road.
Give me a second. No wonder why I couldn't get it synced up. I've been going by the visual and the sound was off.
Wilson, that'll be sent into the Brewers dugout, foul, 1-2. And I feel like this is one of those road trips coming up where there'll be lots of folks who are looking to make a road trip. See the Braves on the road. Those are 3 good places to go check them out. Cross some ballparks off the list. They're in Colorado, San Francisco, and Anaheim. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Olson takes the ball high. Especially the first 2 legs of that trip. I've heard good things about Anaheim. I can't speak for it. That's the only baseball stadium I've yet to work.
Really?
So I'll cross all 30 of them off on this next road trip. Excited about that. 2-2. Olson will send one in the air to left field towards no man's land down the line, and Monasterio races that way and makes the catch in foul ground. 2-away here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, you're going to love Anaheim. It's an older park. They've done a great job of keeping it up and making modifications. And beautiful place to play. You're going to have perfect weather. Yeah, it's a good spot. A lot of good restaurants. You know, the beautiful Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, just down the road. I enjoyed living there and playing there. That's for sure.
Orlando Arcia receives the ball low and outside. Yeah, that's the case for myself and Jay Chad. We both have 29 ballparks we've worked in, and that'll be the last one for the both of us. Get the Angels in, heading to the Big A. 1-0 pitch on the way to Arcia. Into a called strike. Speaking of good weather, if you're looking to beat the heat and you've never been to San Francisco, the highs for when we're there were showing the mid-60s. That's stroked in the air to left center field. In for a base hit by Arcia. He's aboard for the first time of the ball game. That'll extend his on-base streak to 20 games in a row. Good job by Orlando. 2-out single. But it was funny because I was packing yesterday. And, this time of year, you just, however many games we're playing, 10 games, here's 10 polos, here's 10 pair of pants, and let's roll. Not in San Francisco. I'm going to need some sleeves out there.
Got to dust off the jacket.
That single by RC extended his on-base streak to 20 games. Currently the second longest.
Travis d'Arnaud sends one foul back here towards us.
It's funny you mentioned San Francisco weather. I was actually thinking about that with Luke Jackson pitching today. Hasn't seen too many day games where it's 90-plus degrees, out there in the Bay Area.
Yeah, good point.
Even during the day, the cold water surrounding San Francisco keeps it nice and cool.
Arnaud sends one foul. Then you have the wind as well. It can get very windy there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a humorous quote I've heard before where somebody would say that the coldest winter I ever experienced took place one summer in San Francisco. You can get pretty nippy there at night. But it has been very warm here in Atlanta. 0-2 pitch. Got him looking for strike 3. And that'll end the bottom of the 7th inning. But the Braves get a homer from Marcell Ozuna. And they get back to within 10 runs. Been a rough day. We head to the top of the 8th, 14-4 Brewers.
All right, now I'll get it synced up.
Here at the weekend getaway.
Oh no, looks like a loose stair on the porch.
And he is out.
Add another one to the IL.
Not how they wanted the season to start. At Morgan & Morgan, we know injuries can come out of left field. As America's largest injury law firm, we've recovered over $20 billion for our clients. If you've been injured in an accident, call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Take your business further with the smart and flexible American Express Business Gold Card. You can earn 4 times points on your top 2 eligible spending categories every month, like transit, U.S. restaurants, and gas stations. That's the powerful backing of American Express. 4 times points on up to $150,000 in purchases per year. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/businessgoldcard.
I love sports. I love them so much, I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and the sports aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone, every day, all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/stream and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major.
And looks forward to welcoming you for all your travel needs and are committed to safety and cleanliness. Aloft Hotels, different by design. Hey, it's Kevin McAlpin, and I'm talking Braves with the Locker Room every weekday morning at 7:45 on Atlanta Braves Today, exclusively on The Fan.
Rolling into the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 14-4 lead for the Brewers. Ramon Laureano takes a ball outside from Bryce Wilson as he's out there for his 3rd inning of work. 14 runs on 16 hits for the Brewers, 4 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. Laureano spanks one down the left field line foul, bangs off the tarp at a 1-1 count. This will be the last time we see the Brewers this season, as they're on their way to taking the season series versus the Braves. 1-1 low and outside. Braves took 2 out of 3 just last week in Milwaukee. The Brewers working on a sweep of the Braves here in Atlanta.
Is it not working?
Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Laureano. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. As far as that upcoming series goes versus the Rockies, neither team has announced their plans for the rotation for those 3-ball games. 3-1 to Laureano. Bullet up the middle. Had a base hit into center field. He's got his second base hit. 2 for 4 in the ball game. Brings Adam Duvall up to the plate.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if we're even going to make the playoffs.
Here it is to Adam Duvall. That'll be fouled back. 0-1 on him. Adam has reached once in the ball game. That was on a walk back in the 4th inning. The 1 pitch fouled off down the third baseline. And an 0-2 count. Alongside Darren O'Day and our producer engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you, trying to wrap up this ball game. It's been one of the toughest ball games of the season for the Braves.
Well, actually, I am having problems like
allowing 16 base hits.
The window that I have my browser open in for some of the stuff I can't move. I can't.
Well, 2 to Duvall.
I don't know what's
outside
going
from
on.
Wilson. Make it a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Ben, I'm going to summon some positivity here for this Braves team. 2 years ago, 2022, we're scuffling. We go to Arizona. We'd lose 2 really tough games and famously pull out the last one.
1-2, a swing and a miss by Duvall, who strikes out.
You know, Snit had a team meeting before that 3rd game. We win that game. We go right to Colorado. Had a great series there. I think we swept them, and that sent us on I think it was a 10-game winning streak. So here's hoping that happens again this time.
Boy, could use that.
Could use it.
Any kind of winning streak. Pat Murphy comes out, takes the ball away from Bryce Wilson. He's out of the ball game. Milner will be on now for the Brewers. And
Enter to win up to $250,000 with the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab. No purchase necessary. See quickstar.com/sweepstakes for details.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether
Saturday
it's a walk-off
at
grand
noon,
slam
Kenneth.
or a base hit to center field.
Chicago
Whatever
Bears
the
will be
sport,
taking
whatever the
on.
moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21
I don't remember who they
must be
take on.
physically located in Iowa. Gambling
I just know they
problem?
play
Call
Saturday.
1-800 bets off.
Downy Rinse
At
and
noon.
Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
I love sports. I love them so much, I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we
Real,
get fewer
thank you.
games, and the sports aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone, every day, all
Friday to the locker room on 680 The Fan and 680 The Fan
No.
app.
Nope. I don't think any of the starters played.
Brewers reliever Hobie Milner is coming in to relieve Bryce Wilson. 6'3", 187 left-hander. He'll be making his team-leading 51st appearance of the season. So he's getting a lot of action. Last pitched on Sunday in Washington. Looking to get 2 outs here in this 8th. Ramon Laureano on first after his leadoff single.
climbing in Merrifield. Pitch on the way to him. Pins him out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes. The Brewers have used 4 pitchers. Braves have used, well, technically 5, even though only 4 of those are registered as pitchers on the roster. Luke Williams has pitched a 1-2-3 inning. That was great to see. 1-0 pitch. That'll miss low for Milner. 2 balls, no strikes. By the way, speaking of that upcoming series, we know that the Rockies actually will go with Tanner Gordon, Cal Quantrill, and Kyle Freeland in those ball games. There's a ball low and inside. That'll be righty, righty, lefty versus the Braves in that 3-game series in Denver. Trailing 14-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Strike on the inside corner. 3-1. Strike on the outside corner. Merrifield thought it was ball 4.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Wills has finally opened that zone up a little bit in this blowout game here.
A 10-run ball game in the 8th. If you don't open it up now, when will you open it up? There's ball 4 inside. First and second now for the Braves. Back to the top of the order to Eli White.
I'll have to check it out after the.
So Eli
after
with a
the
fly ball
stream's
to deep
over,
left
George.
back in the 6th inning. He took over in the 6th for Jared Kelenic. White takes the ball outside. That's hit well. Out towards left center field. That'll split the gap. And that is going to one-hop off of the wall. This will mean 2 runs for the Braves. Make it a 2 RBI double from Eli White. That is now a 14-6
There you
ball
go.
game here in the bottom of the 8th.
14-6.
He was able to crush that pitch from Milner. And one off the wall in left center field. And by the time Jackson Churio got leather on it, Laureano and Merrifield are coming across the plate about 15 feet from each other.
Yeah, that's like Little League when you're trying to catch your buddy in front of you around the bases. They were stacked up nicely there. Good for Eli. Just got called up today. A little action there.
First pitch is low to Riley. That'll close the line on Wilson as he gave up 2 runs in his 2 1/3 innings of work. Riley fouls one off, and the count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Austin with a liner out towards center. That'll dunk in for a base hit. White will hold at 3rd. And that's Austin's 2nd base hit of the ball game. It's good to have his bat as hot as it is.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully that means a big series in Denver. Look back over his last 10 games plus today.
Run out. Runners on the
He
corners.
is 17 for his last 45. And also in that
Right,
span,
small
he's
ball,
hit
putting them
4
on.
home runs.
Hey, they hit another.
Now
They
Chris
get
Hook,
another
the
home
pitching
run.
coach, going to make a mound
That's
visit.
3 more runs.
We're in the bottom of the 8th. It's a
14-9, and then we're
14-6
down
ball
5
game.
with a whole another inning to go. We got to produce.
Tossing in the bullpen.
Oh, that's just thinking about that. I wish I knew exactly, but there is a run threshold where position players can pitch. And I think if the Braves score a few runs here, they're within that threshold, and you have to have a pitcher pitch. A guy that had a certain amount of innings the previous season. So Jesse's got to get ready just in case if they do cross that threshold that he's going to get some work
Jump up
in here.
and down. Jump, 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 jump.
Batters Ozuna. 1st and 3rd, 1 down. Marcel takes a called strike. Yeah, under the new guidelines, leading teams must be up 10 or more runs in the 9th inning to use a position player. Rule is different for teams who are trailing. That'll miss a little bit low. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Ozuna. That was low and inside. He has homered in the ball game.
Just looking here, Ben, it looks like
That's right. Big Bear hit his 33rd.
Position player can pitch.
He is now one home run behind Shohei
Regardless of
Ohtani.
inning, obviously it is, as we
Yeah.
saw Luke Williams pitching an inning ago, or in the
So-
top of this inning.
If Ozuna cashes Eli White in here, they would be within, 7 runs, and Jesse would have to pitch.
2-2. Ozuna squirts one to the second baseman. Coming in Terang. He's got one play. It's over to first base.
Another one scores, baby.
And the Braves have scored
14
3
to
times.
7.
It's a 14-7 ball game. 3-run eighth for Atlanta.
Oh, and he was safe. Nice. So, 1 out. Runners on the corners.
Down to second base
Yeah,
for Austin
baby.
Riley.
Yeah.
Called strike on Matt Olson. By the way, 2 RBIs in the ball game for Marcell Ozuna, who has 88 on the season. Olson takes a ball low.
We might see something we've never seen before here, Ben. By the rules, Chavez has to pitch. It doesn't say he has to try. So I'm watching him in the bullpen, and he is not really warming up vigorously like he would in a normal game. He might come in and pitch like a position player.
1-1, sent fouled on the first base line. See, that's interesting. Typically, once you cross that threshold, let's say the game is so out of hand that a position player is in there. For either side, you typically don't see it swing back the other way to where you lose that advantage. Or I shouldn't say advantage, but you lose the ability to use a position player. And for teams who have the lead, it has to be the 9th inning. There's a called third strike on Olson. For the losing team, that can come any time, but if you break back under the 8 runs, you got to swing it back to an actual pitcher. Well, it's a 7-run deficit right now. We head to the top of the 9th inning. It's a 14.
It's time to step up to the plate.
Yeah, something's very wonky with, like, for some reason, my browser is stuck on the other side. Like, I can't move it.
The 9th inning. It's a 14-7 lead for the Brewers. Luke Williams is still back out there, so that answers our question from the bottom of the inning. There's a ball outside. 1-0 on Garrett Mitchell. And that was our question. Once you cross that threshold of being able to legally send a position player out there, and then you score some more runs, that ball's hit hard out towards center. Coming in now, Eli White makes a chest-high catch to retire Garrett Mitchell. Once he's out there and you've broken that threshold, can you send him back out? And that's clearly the case.
Yeah, it looks like because he was in the game when it was 8 or more runs, he gets to come back out. And thus far, he's been the best pitcher for the Braves besides Iglesias. So happy to see him come out.
Here's William Contreras. First pitch in, a called strike. When William climbed in, had a smile on his face, looking out there to Luke Williams with his hand, was kind of patting down, said, "Take it easy on me, take it easy, slow it down." One to Contreras. Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Arcia. From the seat of his pants, fires over, but not in time. It's a nice play by Orlando. Still giving it everything he's got.
Just had another funny interaction on the field there between innings. Typically, the guy who pitches the 9th inning has his hand checked for sticky substances before the inning, right?
Yeah.
Normally trotting in from the bullpen, and Luke came out of the dugout looking at first base umpire Chad Fairchild, and they just kind of laughed at each other, and he ran by him.
Monasterio takes a called strike. He probably wanted to get checked. He didn't get to.
It was pretty good. They both just had a good laugh about it.
Oh, one pitch driven down the right field line. If Chad Fairchild had checked him and he had a sticky substance on his hand, I think you still would have let him go out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Just forget it. Go do what you got to do. It's 14-7. 0-2 to Monasterio, misses outside.
Outside.
Just wanted to get a strikeout.
I do too.
Monasterio would hear about that the entire flight back to Milwaukee. 1-2 pitch, looped into right field, base hit. Jogging to second base at a medium pace is William Contreras.
I don't know, Ben. I've never been in favor of a mercy rule, but in games like this, it seems like if both teams agree to it,
move it on down the road.
It makes sense.
There's Sal Frelick. That'll miss high. Well, here's the other side of that. What if you have players who have certain clauses in their contracts for different achievements? That'll miss outside. Bonuses, incentive bonuses. They don't want to give up anything. But in a day like today, they might be tempted to.
Yeah.
2-0 pitch and a fly ball down the left field line. That's going to drop in fair. Coming around third base, heading to the plate now, Contreras.
Here comes another.
Throw comes to the plate, but it's late. It's off the mark by Adam Duvall.
15-7.
Run, and it's 15-7 Brewers.
Well, there goes Luke Williams' ERA. Just gave up the first earned run of his career. That's a bummer.
Just on a soft little flare in a no man's land down the left field line. It's now 19 hits for the Brewers. That'll be sent foul down the right field line.
Another counterpoint to the mercy rule would be these teams would have an advantage not having to throw their bullpen guys for those extra innings, in the coming series.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Braves have a position player pitching, so that doesn't factor in for them, but the Brewers, it would.
One from Luke Williams misses inside.
Chat. There we go.
Jake Bowers has been on twice in the ball game. He's homered.
A chat would
take
come
a ball
up.
outside. Brewers 15, Braves 7. Top of the ninth inning.
I don't know what happened.
And the 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss there. 69-mile-an-hour eephus pitch is what that registered on the video board out in left center field. 2-2 on the way. And he hits a high fly ball to center. Giving ground now Eli White over to his left. Makes the catch, tagging from second base. And heading over to third base is Andrew Monasterio. 2 away here in the inning.
Not sure why you're tagging up there. At this point in the game, as lackadaisical as the play is now, that doesn't make sense to me, but if I'm out there on the mound, next one's right in the guy's ribs. 71 miles an hour.
Joey Ortiz, the batter, takes a ball inside. Well, it'd be understandable to have tempers and frustrations flare up after being on the losing end of a day like today. 1-0 fouled off into the seats down the right field line. And off, not just today, but a series like this. This would be a 5-game losing streak for the Braves. 1-1 pitch. He chased and missed. 1-2. Throw that again.
He's got some swing and miss stuff here this inning. Got to get that first strikeout. That'd be a cool little memento. Take that ball home and put it on the shelf in the office or the mantle.
He's not too bad pitching.
Ortiz digs back in. He struck out a couple of innings ago. And the 1-2 from Williams. Missed upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been a day where the Braves haven't had too many things to smile about at all. Sure would be fun to see a strikeout if nothing else. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Clocked into right field. That'll lay down for a base hit. They're also driving a run. Monasterio scores. It's now 16-7 Brewers, and they have 20 base hits in this ball game.
20 hits.
That gives
Crazy.
them now 52 hits in the series. Goodness. Eric Haas, the next batter, takes a called strike. Got to imagine this is our longest game of the year, time-wise. Well over 3 hours at this point. Well, one pitch. That's driven out towards left field. Adam Duvall to his left makes a running catch. And that's out number 3. 2 more runs up on the board for the Brewers. And as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, it's 16-7 Milwaukee.
When you need paint today, Lowe's knows how to deliver. That's why we have free same-day delivery on trusted brands like Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. Order on Lowe's.com by 2 p.m. and get same-day delivery by 8 p.m. straight to your job site. Because Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms and exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/paint for more details.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Iowa. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. Terms and conditions apply.
Lowe's knows the brands that won't let you down on the job. That's why we carry all the top pro brands, like exclusive A.O. Smith hot water heaters, the largest in-store selection of DeWalt power tools and accessories of any national retailer, and the largest in-store retail selection of Klein tools nationwide. The products you're loyal to are all here in the quantities you need. Lowe's knows top brands. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Song again. Here's that song again. For the 100th time today. Here's that song again. It's gonna.
Book your stay at omnihotels.com/Battery Atlanta.
We're streaming every game of the Braves 2024 season free on the 680 The Fan app. So make sure you download it now and don't miss a pitch of the Braves this season.
Finally into the bottom of the 9th of this one. This is one we want to put behind us, flush away, never talk about it again. It's a 16-7 lead for the Brewers. And it has been a long, hard day for the Braves. Orlando Arcia leading it off. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game. Takes a ball. Oh, I'll call it called strike. That'll work. Never mind. 4 inches off the plate. Nothing in 1.
I'm losing it, Ben. I don't know why that was funny to me.
Oh, 1 pitch. Chase and a miss by Arcia. And it just kind of... I should have expected the strike zone to really blow up the way that it has here late in this ball game. It should. Given how this ball game is gone, here's the 0-2 pitch from Milner to Arcia. Inside 1-2. This Brewers team will improve to 65-49. Meanwhile, the Braves will drop to 60-54. And it would be a 5-game losing streak for the Braves. Ball low, 2-2.
I hope we can turn it around at the Rockies. I mean, really, who are we going in against the Rockies as our pitcher?
That's his second base hit of the ball game.
Are we going to have a strong pitching crew going out to Colorado?
I'm guessing you've never run a marathon before, have you?
Absolutely not, Ben. I don't hate myself.
Yeah, I did it one time. I'll never do it again. And the way that I feel right now, as we're finally in the bottom of the 9th inning, is the way I felt when I finally made that turn and saw the finish line. Because I couldn't wait for that thing to be over with. Pitch on the way to Travis, and a ground ball out to short. Backhanded by Ortiz. They go to second. There's one, and over to first, and there's two. And a 6-4-3 double play. I'd imagine most of our listeners feel the exact same way
6-4-3 double play.
What marathon did you run?
Austin, Texas.
Sorry about the game today, guys. Sorry about the sleepiness again.
I guess. Yeah.
It was in February.
I've been sipping on an energy drink here, and I had a stacker boost.
It was rough. Ramon Laureano takes the ball low. But I had one buddy who did it.
The meds that got me on, everybody.
I'm going to do it.
I mean, I tried to stay awake.
I'm never doing this again. And I enjoy running, but
they told me.
Here's 1-0 pitch.
I called them a couple days ago. They told me the
left. Jackson Churio to his left. He'll run it down. Ramon Laureano is retired, and mercifully this ball game comes to an end.
That's it. That's your final score.
About the worst ball
Milwaukee
game of the
Brewers
year
16 and Atlanta Braves 7. We have been swept for the first time on the road.
Series.
Our first time.
The Braves will be happy to get on get out of here and get a change of scenery.
We have been swept for the first time at home this season.
In the ninth, no runs, one hit, no errors, none left. Final score: Brewers 16, Braves 7. Back with the totals after this.
Ever hit a single that felt like a home run? Or feel like you're playing in the big leagues even if you've never swung a bat? That's what it's like living at a Cortland community. Like getting more than you expect. Hi.
That'd do it. All right, so tomorrow's Rockies game. Let's see here. It still won't let me move it. Why is it doing that? All right, well. $16 to 6. All right, that is a 8:40 p.m. Eastern, so 7:40 Central. That means we'll go live about 7:20 Central Time tomorrow night. And then come Saturday, I think I'm starting the wrong thing here, but give it a shot. All right, they do have them up. All right, so Saturday at noon, I'll be streaming the Buffalo Bills taking on the Chicago Bears at Buffalo. So I hope you guys tune in for that. And then Saturday night's game is 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central. I am going to plan on trying to do a doubleheader for Saturday, guys. I want to keep the streams coming. Looks like Colorado has already, for Saturday's game, the Quantrill right-handed pitcher will be pitching for them. And Gordon will be pitching for him tomorrow night. All right, so thank you, everybody. It was fun. It was a good stream. Oh, no problem, Kenneth. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching. I mean, it got pretty boring for you, I'm sure. So anyways, I don't want to hold you guys up for the remainder of your beautiful Thursday afternoon. So until tomorrow, This is KGB for the C Sports Network, Clear HBS channel. Saluting you, signing off, and see you tomorrow. Peace. Bye, guys. Thanks for stopping. Thanks for all the support, guys. I can't tell how many subscribes I got. I think we got 2 or 3. We were on the low side for the likes. We got 16 likes. Hey, how you doing, Chelsea? We got a little low on the like side, but there's always future ones. So anyways, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with me today, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a nice night. Enjoy the remainder of your day. Peace.